windows, and there. I mean, I don't know. On this side, is there snow on your side of town? Was there snow downtown?
It's snowing as we speak. It was the most unexpected morning in quite some time.
Yeah, it's December 2nd, and there's snow on the ground. And, yeah, a lot of unexpected things are happening. I'm going to tell you this. I'm tired of talking, it doesn't matter what I'm tired of. I think we're tired of a lot of things about legends and great people and wonderful people in our community passing away. And I know we're going to spend a lot of time today on Kelvin Scarborough. Just shocking news after shocking news over the last, pick your period of time. I don't think it's narrowed down to just the last few days or the last few weeks. But this community lost another guy who was absolutely beloved yesterday. And we're gonna get into the life of Kelvin Scarborough. It's the opening drive. Good morning to you. Happy Wednesday. Jeff, JJ, Micah, Alden, and Josh. We're on ProView Networks, ProViewNetworks.com. You can watch us on Facebook on our page at the OD and the AM, and of course on 95.9 FM and AM 610 The Sports Animal. JJ, I don't know how much you knew Kelvin. Did you know him at all? Did you have any interactions with him over the years?
Nothing too personal.
So when people tell you, like, this was the guy who, there's expressions and there's cliches that are just cliches, right? Oh, I'd give you the shirt off his back. That guy would give you the shirt off his back. And Scott Cregan over at Graphic Connections told me stories where he would go over there and Scott would give him, a bunch of old T-shirts from whatever events, and he'd give them to kids in this area. The stories about how he's helped the youth of Albuquerque are legendary. What he was, a basketball player, was before I was here. It was, I think, 83 to 87. And you go back and look at some of it, and it's legendary, and he's still in the record books in so many places. But every time I would run into Scar, and it would be about 3 times a year, it's a smile, it's a hug, it's stories, it's what are you doing? And Kelvin came from D.C. area, came out here, starred, had a great career. But JJ opted to stay here and make a difference. And I over the years just watched it, and Hunter Green was real tight with him. Hunter's told me some stories, and I did ask Hunter to come on, and Hunter just said, I can't. I just, he's really, really struggling right now, and I get it, man. I said, I totally respect that. Reached out to Rob Robbins yesterday, too. Rob's having having a medical procedure today, and he may come on a different time. But everybody's got stories of the genuine individual that just cared about this community and its kids and made a difference and coached at Manal. And just watching the outpouring on social media, but the people with whom I spoke yesterday with the local community and people who played with him, Scar was loved, man. Scar wasn't a man of rich means. He wasn't a guy who was super flashy. He could ball back in the day. He was cocky. He about his game. But man, did he love these kids and made a difference. And I can't believe, I can. How many kids that he made an impression on and mentored and probably steered on the right course, JJ. We lost, this isn't just about a Lobo legend, although it is about a Lobo legend, about a guy who was legendary on the floor. I can't tell you how many times I heard the story about that dunk at Colorado State yesterday. But this human being, man, in our community was just a hero. He really was a hero to a lot of people.
Yeah, and that was clear yesterday. Is not only was a great player, but he is a better person. By the way, people were talking about and remembering him. I didn't have a lot of personal interactions with him, but just you start listening to how he affected so many people. And I thought one of the quotes in the Jeff Grammer story from George Scott was great, that he was known as the unofficial mayor of Albuquerque. And it kind of just tells you the impact he had in so many different areas, working with New Mexico athletes, New Mexico All-Stars, and just the memories that people have as a player are fantastic. But to your point, he stuck around and he made this his home, and that's what college athletics can do. It brings people together from so many different places, and then it can bring someone to your community that makes a lasting impact. And that was definitely Kelvin Scarborough. And I know when the news came down, it was definitely wait, what? And then you just start listening and remembering, and you realize, yeah, this dude's in the record books, and he's remembered as a great player, but he did so much more for this community.
Yeah, it was a pretty special guy. I met him, initially at Channel 7. We did stories, but every time I would see him, he always would ask, what can I help? Do you need some help? I mean, I'll come over and help. Do you need some help with the New Mexico Bowl? I love what you're doing with it. Can I help you? Just that guy. The best quote I saw about him yesterday was he literally cared for other people more than he cared about himself, and I believe that to be true. I believe that to be true. Just what I knew of Scar and the people who knew him. And, man, we're open for you today at 505-246-0610. And that's 505-246-0610. And if you want to get in and talk about Scar and just the stories and whatever you can, and there's going to be a generation of you that remember Scar on the basketball court and the Gary Colson days and playing with Hunter Green and Rob Robbins and George Scott and that generation of player, and certainly want to hear him. Certainly want to hear him because I loved hearing him yesterday. But I think there's going to be just as many of you who knew Scar as a coach, as a person in the community, as a mentor, as a guy who just helped kids. And I think Scar saw himself maybe in a lot of the kids. Scar came from humble beginnings, certainly, and I had an opportunity here and wanted to give back. So just heartfelt love to those of you who are hurting, because Scar was special. This is JJ. I've been in a funk certainly since Friday when because I was really close with Nick LeBeau, but it's not like it started then. I'm going back and Calvin passed away. Calvin Allen, the former Lobo football player, and just was so big in our community, and all the people that we've lost this year. And I'm just going, damn. I mean, it's I don't know. People die, and I understand, but does it just feel like we've had a rash of people, and especially younger people, and just I don't know. Is it just because what we're going through? I don't know, but it's like this has to stop, man.
Nothing easy about it. Never will be. And it doesn't matter. The circle of life, people pass away. Never easy. Never something to get used to.
Yeah. All right. 505-246-0610. You can get in on Scar, and I'd like you to, actually, because I think it'll help people get through. Aggies win last night, 92-54. They beat Benedictine Mesa. That's a Arizona school, a NAIA school. This was more what you probably expected. Evan Gilliard had 17. Donnie Tillman had 17. Johnny McCants had a double-double with 11 and 12. Henry had 11. Jabari Rice had 15. Just a performance probably that you would expect more. And now, I don't know if they're going to play one before that, but 10 days from now, on the 12th, they will play Arizona, the real Arizona, the one that the anchor on the local news told me that the Aggies are playing Arizona. They're going to go over to the McHale Center and play. The big difference from game 1 to game 2. I have no idea if the competition was much better. I'm going to assume it was in the first game. But this is what Chris Jans is talking about. Just let's get better and let's go out and play. Last night they took care of what they had to take care of.
Opportunity, repetitions, getting your guys out on the floor. Chris Jans said after the game, he doesn't know if they got better. Watch the tape to see, but they knew it was definitely a different animal from Arizona Christian to what they played yesterday.
Yeah, and that's okay. Look, I mean, I think with this whole thing, you're just trying to figure out how to get better, how to play, get ready for your season. And when they went from Arizona Christian to Benedictine Mesa of Arizona, and then they'll get Arizona. Then they'll get the real deal, and that'll be a step up. I'm hearing whispers of a Lobo game on Sunday.
Ooh.
Out in Lubbock, so we'll see. But I'm hearing that we may hear about the Lobo men's game on Sunday. So we'll see for Lobo men's basketball. We got CFP. The college football playoff standings are out. I want to get into that with you. You get football not tonight. No football for you tonight. You're like, wait, Jeff, the Ravens and the Steelers play. No, not tonight. This afternoon at 1:20. Enjoy your Wednesday afternoon football.
Oh, I will, because it can get out the way for my Wednesday night college basketball.
See, now it can get out the way. And we had good college basketball last night. We got a ton to talk about. The number to get in is 505-246-0610. That's area code 505-246-0610. Emails are coming in, Jeff at 610knml.com or JJ at 610knml.com. JJ's on the Twitter. It's _ JJ Buck. And on the Facebook, the OD in the AM. We are on ProView Networks and 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal.
You've seen Rich Eisen on TV.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a #1. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Sports Network. Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili, breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Played over to Madrid, plays it across the box off the dasher. It's settled. Shot on by Garcia. Trickles in. Goal.
Chavez blocked at the rim. And here's Dorian Lewis to Watson.
Shot on and just wide. Big deflection. Goal.
With his first field goal. Look at that. That's gorgeous.
Not a game you can go have 25 turnovers in and win.
Get that out of here, Watson says. Here comes Hodnett all the way. He's blocked in return. Dickey, did he get it off? He did, and he hit it. They're really... Oliveras. Wild 3, and it hit.
Another steal nearly by Hiron. It is a steal. Avalos ahead to Hiron. The two-hand hammer by Hiron. I knew he was going to put that one down.
ProView Networks tonight.
District mashup there.
Davidson took it away in transition. Might be time for a jam. Yes.
Oh! Big Barton, watch him, coach. Watch the inbounder.
Dumas Sanchez in the corner.
Back to Barton with 2.4 seconds left. Fires for the win.
And he got it!
He scored!
Oh my God!
On the last second shot.
He did! Oh my God!
Bakes it in from 25 feet and watch the celebration right in front of us. What a shot by Barton. He was double teamed and somehow found a way to get it in. Ramos to Gaxiola. High window for the win. It's good. It counts. Gaxiola.
Floaters away. Oh, it popped out on him. Rebound comes out to Goldwire of Duke. But his down-court pass intercepted by Aaron Henry. And I can now say he has scored in the second half. With that
great steal. His defense has been so good in this game.
Michigan State 64. Duke 51. 5 to go.
75-69. Michigan State wins in Cameron. The Jimmy V looked different. The Champions Classic looked different. The other game of the Champions Classic, which was played in Indianapolis, went down to the wire. Kansas beat Kentucky 65-62. JJ, you got good basketball to watch last night. You could watch that stream of the Aggies if you wanted, and then you could watch the mega productions of the Champions Classic, which is a staple in ESPN's lineup every December or every November, usually November, every early season, and they were able to pull that one off yesterday. It was good viewing.
It was. You saw two teams that are really young in Duke and Kentucky beat by a little more experienced teams, in this case, Kansas and Michigan State. And yeah, every year Kentucky's young, but this is even one of the younger squads that Calipari has had during his time. All 5 starters from last year's team are gone, so they really need their transfers. Sarr, the big man from Wake Forest, and then Mintz, the guard from Creighton, to really step up. But still, I thought they played really good, bouncing back from their game where Richmond beat them over the weekend. And then, Michigan State, Rocket Watts, huge in that backcourt, scoring 20 points. You heard the highlight of Henry, who is, he's one of those dual threat fours. He can kind of play all over the floor. He was really good last night and some fun basketball.
Yeah, no, it was good to watch, and you're going to get it. It was frustrating. It is frustrating to watch what's going on, and then okay, have the Lobo, and hopefully, like I said, I think you might get a game Sunday, or something announced pretty soon. But it's for me, being a Mountain West guy, and certainly as close as we are to the Lobo program and the Aggie program, just saying, all right, when? In the Mountain West yesterday, Alabama beat UNLV. UNLV's 0-3. Alabama beat them 86-74. Rebels have lost, and so you say, okay, they're going to lose that game. Yeah, but you didn't expect them to lose the opener to Montana State, which is when they lost, and then they lost to Carolina and Alabama. Okay, so you can handle Carolina, and they played Carolina relatively well, but what was it, 76-61? Is that what it was?
Yeah,
Carolina game?
UNLV can shoot the lights out of it. That's the thing. They have 3 really good guards. Of course, Coleman returns, as does Hamilton. But the difference for them is Caleb Grill. He had 27 points. They just need to figure out, they're going to play shootouts. So are they going to be a team that has enough to change a game like this? Because Alabama was a team with Shackelford and Petty that this is what they want to do. They want to be in a shootout, and UNLV's just not good enough right now to win a game like that. It was close for a little bit, then Alabama pulled away. I think they like how they've played at times, and to your point, they started that North Carolina game really good, and then the Tar Heels ran away from them in the second half after the frustrating opener to Montana State. But this UNLV team is going to score a lot of buckets on Mountain West squads.
All right, an interesting one in the Mountain West, if you could find it. JJ, I don't know that there's TV or not. It's in Reno. Reno plays San Francisco tonight. You're like, all right, whatever. That's that San Francisco team that beat the 4th-ranked team in the country, Virginia, just last week. So Reno, Nevada, Steve Alford's team gets San Francisco. Wolfpack 3-0. San Francisco's 2-2. Elsewhere today in the Mountain West, Incarnate Words in Wyoming. St. Catherine will be at San Diego State. Davidson, UNLV, San Jose State, Pepperdine, and that's a sneaky team too. And you mentioned them the other day, Pepperdine. And then Air Force in Denver will play. So that's what you're getting today. And the week goes on, and all these teams are playing. They're all playing. They're all getting better. They're all They're all moving, and we're waiting for the first Lobo game to be announced, and I think you might hear something soon. You get Lobo football on Saturday. It's the opening drive. Jeff, JJ, Micah, Josh, and Alden. Lobo football Saturday evening over on News Radio KKOB. And we're going to get into in the next segment the quarterback situation. San Jose State and Hawaii. We didn't really get into this yesterday. The 49ers in the NFL are playing their games in Arizona because that county basically said no more contact sports, kind of like what's going on in our state. And so San Jose State was now in that situation. They were practicing out of county, but where were they going to play their game? They're going to play it in Hawaii. But there was talk, and evidently quite serious talk, about playing it in Sam Boyd Stadium and how to do that around the New Mexico-Wyoming game. And New Mexico-Wyoming was television. I guess there was talk, JJ, about playing the game earlier in the day at Sam Boyd Stadium, but there were different TV networks. And so because of COVID, the TV networks didn't want to go into the same booth, and they wanted it to be cleaned, and there just wasn't enough time to go in and do a full deep cleaning and change out the TV networks and the crews and the whole thing and get everything done. And I didn't think they were going to go take this thing to Hawaii just because the cost of getting to Hawaii. If you say San Jose State's playing and who are they playing, okay, just go to their place. Anybody but Hawaii, right? Because the cost to get over there. But ultimately, that's what they did. But yeah, there were talks going on up through, from what I understand, yesterday afternoon to maybe play that thing in Vegas. At Sam Boyd Stadium.
I heard the Vegas talk as well, and this is a San Jose State team that trying to play for a Mountain West championship. So at this point in time, you say, you know what? Yeah, it's makes it tougher, but we'll go to Hawaii for this chance, for this opportunity to play. And you brought up San Jose State Pepperdine, and they're not playing that game. San Jose State basketball doesn't have a place right now. So they're in that same situation of, wait, where do we continue to practice, and do these games end up being played on the road? So join the party, guys.
Yeah, that I did not know about San Jose State basketball. I knew their football team was over at, I want to say Redwood City, if I'm not mistaken, but they're practicing somewhere else, and now they've got to figure it out and where to play and how they're going to figure this out. But again, it's how do we get to the finish line, right? There was a lot of people who said, "Why are you starting?" Fair enough. Then there were a lot of people who said, "Well, you're not going to get to the finish line." All right, and I think that's fair enough as well. How do you get to the finish line? I think there's, whatever we have to do to get there. Here's your Mountain West schedule, football for the weekend. Thursday, Air Force is at Utah State. It's a big game for Air Force to get to. I don't even know what bowl eligibility is, but I think you're probably going to peel off the top if you want to go to a bowl game. Boise State's at UNLV on Friday. That game is on CBS Sports Network. Then you get that San Jose State Hawaii game, 2 o'clock in the afternoon on Saturday. In the 5 o'clock window on CBS will be Colorado State, San Diego State, and then Fresno State and Nevada will be the late game on Fox Sports 1, while the Lobos and Wyoming play on CBS Sportsnet on this coming Saturday. So you're enjoying this package, right? It's one of 3 places you can go and get your game, this TV package.
Yeah, it's one that I do like the Thursday, Friday, Saturday games for the conference. It gives them an opportunity to showcase themselves. A lot of times, in standalone games, or there's maybe 1 or 2 other games going on at the time. The spacing of it, I think, is really good for fans to actually get to see the entire conference. And for the most part, there's a couple late ones this weekend, but if you look at the way the schedule has played out, they're not kicking off at 8:30. They're not kicking off at 8:45. It's been so much better. There was one day where there was like 3 games on FS2, so be it. Like that's not bad at all. It's not any different than trying to find ESPNU at 8:45 after the kickoff's been delayed for a little bit. So I think overall the package has been good for the conference and expected to put a little bit more money in all the universities' pockets.
Yeah, I want to see what happens in a year like next year when they've got the Pac-12 package and how they're going to sort everything up, right? Who's going to get what window, how Fox is going to deal with that on their networks as far as what windows and how many more what the accessibility is, and how many more Thursday and Friday games. I'm not sure I do love the Thursday and Friday games, to be honest with you. I get the point that, yeah, they're more accessible. You can watch them more. I think Thursday's become an NFL night where it was a college football night, and I don't love the Thursday night games, and I think it's a short week, and you know how I've always felt about Thursday night games anyway. The Friday night games, I know I've been there. I've never loved them. And when high school football is going again, I do think it detracts. And certainly in the home market, in this league especially, I think it detracts from crowds. But this is an anomaly of a year. I agree with you. In this year, in this particular year, I think it's worked. You've been able to catch whatever it is you want. You can sample, you can get them. I'm interested to see in a regular year when the Mountain West in this region is sharing those windows on Fox especially. They pretty much kind of have it exclusively in this region with CBS Sports, but I'm interested to see how it goes with Fox when they're sharing those windows with a full Pac-12 slate. This year you've been moving everything around, man. You saw San Diego State and Nevada on the big boy CBS. You were going to see Boise State, San Jose State on CBS this week. So there's been windows because of cancellations. But to your point, yeah, it's worked this year. I think you've got to see whatever it is you want to see.
Yeah, and you'll still get the games. You don't know what necessarily the time slots are going to be moving forward, but I think it's a solid package for the conference, given the space that it provides to. I think when you start looking forward to basketball, they added windows from the Fox Sports Network, whether you get FS1, FS2, Fox on the weekend. Yeah, the big boys are going to take precedent to that, but you still have those opportunities. Might not like them, but take advantage of them. If you end up playing more Thursday and Friday games, so be it, man. Everyone loves action. There's always stuff going on, and you just try to own your slot when you get that chance.
Yep, I think that's fair. And that's what you got, and that's what you signed up for. So take advantage of it and take advantage of the exposure. Quarterback's a big deal. Lobos play Wednesday. They play Wyoming on Saturday. When we get back, let's talk about the quarterback situation. And here we go, man. Next man up. Next man up. We'll talk about that next on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Ho hum home. Put it to work with a home.
Get into the game with Garden Swartz Team Sales. They have everything you need, from screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing services, high school letterman jackets, and all high school and club uniforms, and individual and team apparel with the most reliable brands like Speedline, Rawlins, and Wilson. And don't forget to check out the latest F7 Shut helmet. It's all at Garden Swartz Team Sales. Give them a call, 505-884-1234. Garden Swartz Team Sales.
Creates space. He gives it off to Rivas for the three, and he buries it.
They'll be coming in soon. Double pick set for Avalos. Goes to the right. Avalos puts it up high. Window scores and is fouled. Right here by Lewis all the way, coast to coast, and finish. What a
around the screen against White. Step back, it's blocked. JB with the block.
In transition, ahead to hit on for the two-hand hammer.
Has to go. They've got a shot. They have a chance, and it's put up, and it's good. What a three that is by Jalen.
Hidon puts it up. Rebound Cowboys. Right side David Hall. Thank you very much.
Here come the Cowboys. Domina Lovato lays it up. Missed it. Hey, how about it? Dunk you, Luscious. Thank you very much, Raquan Mitchell. Clock at 6. They get it. Barnes Tompkins fires. Yes! Pass up court. This for the win. Blocked by DJ Bustos. Cowboys win. Cowboys win.
Second field goal, he's got 4 points. Watson, though, goes all the way.
Hit the deck, I should say. Cordova tried to throw it off. Romero, a 3 for...
Set out to Jutapia. Nice move behind his back. It's a good... Here's Ramos, step back, high arcing, 20!
Well, he needed to get his legs back under him.
Ooh, a little kick.
They leave it one more time to Hammer. Up top! Yes, and the finish for Akbayosi. Saved into the...
What day is today? Lobo football Saturday. Thank you. I was hoping it was Friday, although I got a lot to do. Lobo football Saturday versus Wyoming from Las Vegas. It all makes sense. Home game in Las Vegas versus Wyoming with your third-string quarterback. It'll be at 8:30 and it'll be on FS2. All right. JJ will have the pregame show at 7:30. It's the opening drive. Jeff, JJ, Micah, Josh, Alden. JJ, quarterback number 3. Here we go. I've heard Connor Ganal. I've heard Connor Janal. It doesn't much matter if he goes out and Connor can ball. He'll be your quarterback on Saturday. Connor Janal, quarterback 3. Pretty good chance to see number 4. Who knows? Listen to Danny. Trey, I didn't expect Trey Hall. I kind of did expect Tavaka. It sounds like no Tavaka on Saturday either, huh?
Lingering concussion-like symptoms for Tavaka Toyota. Incredibly frustrating, but that's something you can't rehab. You can't. I'm going to flex my eyebrows. It's like you have a brain injury. It's unfortunate, and that's what he's dealing with this season. And, yeah, Trey, I think he kind of was trending that way when you saw him being taken off, and then you heard Monday when Danny was with us saying a CT scan. So on top of, all right, is he cleared from any concussion-like symptoms? Dude was beat up and had the rib injury. So it's on to Connor. And it's the Lobos' 7th different starting quarterback in their last 18 games. It's one.
Can you name them all? How many can you name off the top of your head? Starting quarterbacks for the Lobos.
18 games. This should be able to do this. Tavaka.
7 guys, right? Yeah, the 3 guys this year, right? Yeah.
So there's 6 we got to name because Connor will be 7.
All right, so Trey Hall and Tavaka.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just remember back to last year. How many guys were going last year?
Brad Hughes.
Brad Hughes, right? He started the opener. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That was easy. Who started the end of last season? Why can't I remember back to the end of last season?
The last game of last year.
Okay. Micah's looking it up. I can see. So let me ask you this on Tavaka. This is not his first, right? Is this his 3rd that we know of concussion that's kept him out? And look, I'm asking about the young man. Like, I'm not asking about the football player. I'm like, this is me saying, all right, he's a senior, right? This one obviously is much more severe than, I hate to say your run-of-the-mill concussions, but you hear about concussions all the time. Like, do you say, all right, is it worth putting this young man out there for another game or two for an 0-5 football team? Like, go live, like live your life well, young man. And please take this in the spirit that it's meant. This is a full concern just for the longevity of this young man, for the well-being of Tavaka Tuioti, who's going to go on and live his life and get his degree and do great things, I'm sure. But at some point, you just say, all right, man, like, is it worth going out there? And you've had 3 that we know of, I think, and obviously this one is lingering, pretty severe. I mean, I don't know. I know the young man loves playing football, but at some point, do you just say, man, is it worth it?
Yeah, it's absolutely a fair question. If not just this season, but if his collegiate career is finished. He battled a lot this offseason, especially his head coach calling him soft. Didn't think he was a tough guy. Came out there, won the job, showed his toughness. Unfortunately, he got hurt on a play in which he was kind of diving forward, got hit from the side, helmet to helmet hit. And I absolutely think that there's a good chance that we don't see Tavaka Tuioti on the football field again, not because he doesn't want to play, but like you said, you just got to start thinking about, all right, what's next? He's not playing football for the next 15 years of his life. So the next step for him is what at this point? Does he want to come back? Do they even welcome him back? Is that on the table? A lot of questions.
Yeah, I think you welcome him back. I think he's part of your team. You're 0-5, you got 2 games left. Maybe there's a third on the 19th. I'm hearing whispers. I don't know. But I like Tavaka. I mean, I think, just from what we know of him, I think seems like a nice young man. I love his story this year about how he battled back from a coach who didn't believe in him and called him soft and earned the starting job and looked like he was improving and then got his belt rung again. I don't know. I worry about the young man. As for Janal, going in as a 16.5-point dog against a pretty good defense. Just watching the press conference yesterday, he seems pretty chill. He said, now that I've got a week to prepare, I know that I'm the guy, I'm ready to go. He's a big kid, 6'5". He looks big in the pocket. It's a different kind of a quarterback, it feels like. I don't know how much Danny in that offense has to change what they do. He's a California kid. He kind of comes off as a low-key Southern California kid, doesn't he? Just very, very chill. But let's go. Next met up, and you're the guy. I'm going to be honest with you. A little bit we saw of him the other day, he didn't look that bad, and now you're going to give him a full week to prepare? Let's go see what the young man's got.
Yeah, that's what Connor talked about yesterday, is just the opportunity to prepare differently. Like, this dude was a scout team quarterback last year. And so he's like, I didn't even just get a chance to practice normally. So being around a practice has been a different experience with him being after Bryant Hughes' injury. So he's pretty much the 4th-string quarterback on this team, but was 3rd string coming in the season. He said it was so different just being at practice and just seeing it from that perspective, and you're just like, wow, that's your truth. The scout team, you just kind of off doing whatever needed. It's all of a sudden you're starting quarterback. He's embracing the opportunity. Danny said team's going to rally and fight. They might not be good, but he's sure as heck knows that they're going to compete. This is going to be really tough against a very, very good defense and a team that wants to just run right over you and pound you into the ground. And what is the offense going to look like? It's going to look a little bit different. They're going to try to run the football a whole heck of a lot, a little bit less with the quarterback, and see if he can make a play or two downfield.
This is actually quarterback number 4, right? Because Brant Hughes was in the mix in the top 3. Danny said yesterday, quote, long term, the way we've been using the quarterback, that ain't going to work. I think quarterbacks are too valuable when you have a guy that's really, really good, but we're in the process of setting an identity of who we're going to be and what we're going to be. I think Trey Hall is one of the toughest guys on our team. He gives us the best chance to win when he's physical. I don't think the longevity of the program that you can do that every year for the quarterback, end quote. And that's running these quarterbacks around like it's been, I mean, JJ, it's been, what? I mean, years now. They've been running quarterbacks around and getting them hurt. I don't know. That's why you don't see it in the pro game, right? That's why you don't see often your quarterback is your leading rusher. That's why as much as you say Lamar Jackson, Deshaun Watson, Josh Allen, pick your guy. He's a mobile quarterback. He can get out of the pocket. Kyler Murray. You don't see a ton of designed runs, and you sure as hell don't see them getting hit a lot, right? You don't see them getting physical. And Danny kind of addressed that yesterday, that this isn't going to work long term.
Yeah, it's a part of the game, especially at the collegiate level. It's been one of the most effective plays for the Lobos, yet it's got them down to their third or fourth string quarterback, however you want to look at it at this point in time. And that's why, I asked Danny on Monday, when you want to have it a part of your offense, is there any way the quarterbacks can be smarter? And he's pretty much saying not right now, because he wants them to set that tone. He wants that toughness. And that's what these two quarterbacks showed, is that they can lead, they can play, but that's put them on the sidelines. And now you're on to Connor Janal.
Yep. Got emails on quarterbacks. I'll get those to you next. 505-246-0610 is where we are today. Want your thoughts on the Lobo quarterback situation. I'm not going to sit here and advise Tavaka Tuioti on what to do. I don't know him. I don't know his situation. But just your thoughts on, multiple, and that's two and I don't like that either. That's multiple concussions. And where, do you expect it? We'll see Tavaka again. 505-246-0610. We're on ProView Networks. The opening drive's on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Discover matches all the cash back you earn on your credit card at the end of your first year. It's amazing because Discover's accepted at
the frontier, walk to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot. It's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Sports Network. Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Plays it across the box off the dasher. It's settled. Shot up by Garcia. Trickles in. Goal.
Chavez blocked at the rim. And here's Dorian Lewis to Watson.
Shot on and just wide, big deflection, goal.
With his first field goal. Look at that. That's gorgeous.
Not a game you can go have 25 turnovers in and win.
Get that out of here, Watson says. Here comes Hodnett all the way. He's blocked in return.
Dickey, did he get it off? He did, and he hit it. They're really... Oliveras. Wild three, and it hit.
Another steal nearly by Hidon. It is a steal. Avalos ahead to Hidon. The two-hand hammer by Hidon. I knew he was going to put that one down.
ProView Networks tonight.
District mashup there.
Davidson took it away in transition. Might be time for a jam.
Oh! Big Barton, watch him, coach. Watch the inbounder.
Dumas Sanchez in the corner.
Back to Barton with 2.4 seconds left. Fires for the win.
And he got it!
It's good.
Oh my God!
On the last second shot.
He did. Oh my God!
Bakes it in from 25 feet and watch the celebration right in front of us. What a shot by Barton. He was double teamed and somehow found a way to get it in.
Ramos to Gaxiola, high window for the win. It's good. It counts. Gaxiola with the game winner for a Driscoll Heritage.
The New Mexico High School Coaches Association, established in 1941, is an organization of New Mexico's best and most professional interscholastic coaches. Coaches across work daily to help our student athletes excel in the classroom, on the field of play, and...
Right. We got it on our air. Micah, what time we starting our coverage? On Wednesday afternoon football. I think I saw Carlisle tweet that yesterday. 1 o'clock, I'm going to guess, because it's a 1:20 game. So we get the Ravens and the Steelers here on your home for the National Football League. It's 95.9 FM and AM 610 The Sports Animal. Jeff Siembieda, JJ Buck. We're remembering a legend, a Lobo legend today, Kelvin Scarborough. Word came out yesterday that Kelvin passed away at the age of 56. Just too young, man. Just way too young. I read natural causes. I've heard a lot of different things. I don't know exactly what it was. But if you want to get in on that, you can. We're talking about Lobo football. They've got down to their 4th string quarterback. And we may see Isaiah Chavez, who's number 5 at some point. I mean, I don't know. If you would put odds on it, would you bet yay or nay that Isaiah Chavez gets a snap on Saturday against Wyoming? Because I would bet yay.
I'd bet yay. I'm not even at the point where I think Bryson Carroll would be fun to watch take snaps in an offense. If you're talking about running the football, some speed options, some zone read looks. Heck, he's 2 for 2 with 2 touchdowns. Like, let's go. Maybe he's your starting quarterback.
Well, he was a quarterback when he got here, if you recall. In fact, that was a year of eligibility that was burned because he took, was it 2 snaps in that game at Tulsa?
Oh my gosh, that was such a bad decision. Anyway, right before halftime, Colton Gerhart was another one of those names. So I only got to, so going back to 2018, so the last 3 seasons, Connor Janal would be number 6. So I don't know where the 7 came from if you go back 4 years, but still, it'd be number 6 in terms of starting quarterbacks coming in to this weekend. But yeah, it was Colton Gerhart hurt his shoulder like a minute or 2 before halftime in that drive, and instead of just having being able to run a wildcat, just run the football, get out of there, they had
there was no time, there was 30 seconds left on the clock, right?
And they had Carroll take a snap or 2 just to even have a kneel down and burn the whole
knee. Yeah, and he burned his whole redshirt season, and then the NCAA did not honor the appeal to give it back to him when they're giving now. In the next summer, they changed the rules where if you play in less than 4 games, you retain your red shirt. This kid took 2 snaps and lost his red shirt. They should almost reappeal that. I wonder if they would get that heard. That was one of the things of all the things that bother me. There's things that bother me certainly in college athletics, but that was one of the worst things of all. You're gonna burn this kid's whole year because the coach threw him in there for 2 snaps to finish off a half, and yet you're gonna let kids play 3.5, 4 games and they get their whole freshman year back. But this kid who took 2 snaps because of a bad coach's decision, and you burn his whole year. It was. Maybe they could reappeal that. Lance, good morning. You're on the Quan's Auto Care Hotline. Hi, Lance.
Good morning. Took 20 minutes of abuse about my Broncos yesterday. But anyway, Kelvin Scarborough, 3-on-3 tournament. He was a teller at the bank. Would have to do paper checks. So I'd go get it cashed. And I said, dude, there's a 3-on-3 tournament coming on. We, of course, killed it. But the funniest thing was I'm just a guy underneath. I'm 265 and could dunk with 2 hands. And so the first thing that happened is the other guy, they're terrible, threw it in, and he had to come out. Threw it to me from 30 feet away. I shot nothing but net, a 3. And he just sits there with his hands on his hips and looks at me. I didn't know he could shoot like that. So we killed the 3-on-3. Then we went to the 5-on-5 for the City League, and we went undefeated and won it. And it was so fun to get to know the guy because he had such a sense of humor, and everything. And when we would practice, it's like, and in practice, I'd miss it. I'd miss a 3. But when we knew we needed a 3, he'd just throw it to me, and it's nothing but net. So, anyway, I love Kelvin Scarborough, and he's a great guy. And I wanted to talk about your New Mexico ball. On Friday, it's called Friday Night Kickoff or whatever it is. It's at 4 on Friday. And they talked about your New Mexico Bowl. And Michael Felder is the best breakdown guy, one of them besides JJ. But there is. I mean, he played at Carolina and stuff. And I said, I lived in Alamogordo and, and Las Cruces. I grew up there. And that's the most beautiful, state there is. I don't see why they're not play New Mexico Bowl there.
Well, because you don't understand the politics here. You don't understand what's going on here.
Yeah, I really wish you could reach out on Stadium Network.
Yeah.
And it's, you could find it, Michael Felder. Okay. And to tell him what's going on. And I think it'll get you even more publicity for the bowl. But I think you need to go big time. Like that one guy called in about Netflix. If they're not going to let you have a game here, go to Jerry World. Just say, hey, we got Netflix.
We're good, man.
Make millions for yourself.
Game's in 3 weeks from tomorrow.
Let you have it here. Just go ahead and go that direction. That's ridiculous that you can't have it here in New Mexico. But there's guys on nationwide saying what a beautiful place New Mexico is, and he doesn't know. And he's the best breakdown guy. And also, too, your other guy, McMurphy, he has 3 shows on that station. He talks about it, too.
All right.
So I really wish you could look that up, Jeff.
I will.
You have,
I will.
Nobody will listen to me, of course. And
everybody
look up
listens to you.
And talk to them and stuff.
All right, Lance.
All right.
Yep, I'm on it. No, I appreciate that. Thank you for looking out for me. Yeah, thanks for looking out for me.
Bigger, Jeff. Bigger.
We're not moving again, dude.
With this,
we got a spot. We got a spot when we're playing the game in 3 weeks from tomorrow. That kind of freaked me out.
We thought about asking the Dallas Cowboys to play in the game.
That's a good point. Are they eligible? I'm just saying. 505-246-0610. 888-922-0610. Lobo quarterback stuff, Calvin Scarborough. College football playoff poll is out. Standings. We'll take a look at those next on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
Tell me they're cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff. One scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough. Back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot. It's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Sports Network. Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Played over to Madrid, plays it across the box off the dasher. It's settled. Shot on by Garcia. Trickles in. Goal.
Chavez blocked at the rim. And here's Dorian Lewis to Watson.
Shot on and just wide. Big deflection. Goal.
With his first field goal. Look at that. That's gorgeous.
Not a game you can go have 25 turnovers in and win.
Get that out of here, Watson says. Here comes Hodnett all the way. He's blocked in return. Dickey, did he get it off? He did, and he hit it. They're really... Oliveras. Wild 3, and it hit.
Another steal nearly by Hiron. It is a steal. Avalos ahead to Hiron. The two-hand hammer by Hiron. I knew he was going to put that one down.
ProView Networks tonight.
District mashup there.
Davidson took it away in transition. Might be time for a jam. Yep.
Oh!
Big Barton, watch him, coach. Watch the inbounder.
Dumas Sanchez in the corner.
Back to Barton with 2.4 seconds left. Fires for the win.
And he got it!
It's good.
Oh my God!
On the last second shot.
He did! Oh my God!
Bakes it in from 25 feet and watch the celebration right in front of us. What a shot by Barton. He was double teamed and somehow found a way to get it in.
Ramos to Gaxiola. High window for the win. It's good. It counts. Gaxiola with the game winner for a Driscoll Heritage.
Connor Janal can, and we're going to get to see him on Saturday against Wyoming. Lobos and Wyoming. You got a lot of thoughts on the quarterbacks. It's the opening drive. Jeff, JJ, Micah, Alden, and Josh. Woof, woof, woofing over on the ProView Networks. You can see us there. ProViewNetworks.com and our Facebook page, the OD and the AM. Watch us every day. And then, JJ, I don't know if you know about this, the replay. Every day on Comcast Channel 26, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. You haven't had enough of us. You can get more candy talk. Right there on that. We can do cereal talk one day too. You know, go from Frosted Flakes to Golden Grahams to just your basic Cheerios to Apple Jacks. Apple Jacks were my favorite, by the way. Do you like Apple Jacks? I haven't had Apple Jacks in years. No. They were all right. Yeah, Alden likes those too. All right, Glenn says, what a disaster, Jeffy. I've heard rumors Lobo football's close to, or perhaps is already scheduled the game for December 19th. But at this point, are they going to have any quarterbacks left? If I'm Wyoming's defensive coordinator, I'm telling my guys, let's see what Isaiah Chavez looks like. I've heard whispers. I haven't heard anything solid about the 19th. I'm not counting on the 19th. The 19th is the day that the conference championship games are going to be played. Some leagues are using that to play another game for teams. I know bowl season starts on the 19th. The Frisco Bowl, the Tropical Smoothie Cafe Frisco Bowl will be on the 19th. And the bowl games are starting like right after that. Ding, 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 ding. So I think Danny would tell you, let's play as many as we can, right? But I don't know. And are you going after this quarterback any more than you'd go after any other quarterback, by the way?
You're not.
Right?
It's the same exact thing. It's just the what's left attitude after that. And that's why it's tough. I get where Danny's coming from, but to then pretty much just be like, our quarterbacks are out there just to be slaughtered this year, so be it. But when we're a better football team, we'll protect these guys. That's a tough situation to be in.
Well, yes. And I think a lot of it's on his offensive line, but we'll see. Todd says, Glassjaw quarterbacks. Who was the last quarterback you knew who was going to answer the bell? Stoney Case, maybe Graham Lee. We talked about this. Graham Lee, probably. This reminds me of the 2005 Air Force loss. 2005 Air Force loss that led to the creation of the New Mexico Bowl when, he says, when Lobo football was snubbed after a loss in which an injured Cole McCamey didn't play. Backup Chris Nelson limped off the court in the third after a broken collarbone, so former walk-on Brian Clampett was inserted with nightmarish results. There's been a lot of backup quarterbacks. I mean, a lot of quarterbacks, period, that have gone through this program over the last 15 years. I don't know if Sean Stein was before that, and Rudy Camano, and I mean, you just go down the list. Justin Millay. Remember the game? Do you remember the game Justin Millay from Silver City started at UNLV and went nuts, and they won the game? Great story. I don't think he ever played again, but he was a third string guy. Ran like crazy. A kid from Silver City, New Mexico kid. Everybody else was hurt, and they're like, all right, well, we're going to throw this guy out there. Is it Millay or is it Malaya? And he went to, it's like, is it Ganal or is it Janal? And get to know your quarterbacks and get to know them on the 5 deep, because there's a good chance around here, and historically, they're going to play.
There's really not an answer for it. Like, why does this keep happening? Like, you look at what happened to Devaka and Trey. Those dudes took hits and got up. It's just they got to a point where they couldn't take anymore. And looking back, it's talent. I think when you look at can Nathaniel Jones be a number 1 running back, that would be huge moving forward. You know, to have a guy that can take over a game. Of course, you're going to see multiple guys, but I think that's going to be huge. The offensive line has been extremely disappointing with as much hype as the center and right tackle get, to see that unit constantly push back or not creating holes for anyone in the backfield. And yeah, when this team has been stable, they've been all right. The 2 back-to-back bowl seasons. Yeah, they played 2 quarterbacks, but they had their roles and it worked. It was Austin Apodaca and Lamar Jordan. Other than that, it's been
Gopher did some research for you because Micah didn't. So Gopher went and did this. I'm kidding, kind of. He says, when you see this revolving door over the last 8 to 9 seasons, is it any wonder Louisville football struggled? Now, I'm not even going to go back to the days of Sean Stein and Eric Jaworski. That'd be another huge list. But here's what he compiled for us. And you know what I was asking you about last year? I can't believe I forgot Sharon Jones, right? I mean, that's how distant last year feels. But he compiled this list from the last 8 to 9 years. Lamar Jordan, Brad Gruner, Victor James, Tali Ina, Austin Apodaca, Darren Jones. I don't remember Darren Jones, do you? But okay. Emmanuel Yeager, Tate Smith, Dustin Walton. He was the young man from Farmington who transferred. Stump Mitchell, Smilin' David Vega, Clayton Mitchum, Cole Ouchie, Quentin McCown, Caleb Kimbrough, Jawan Lawson, Colton Gerhart, Jacob Henney. You know that one?
Some of these guys play at all?
No, but they were, on the roster and in the mix. Sharon Jones, Will Heckman. I don't know that name at all. Brant Hughes, Donovan Portery, and Tate Smith. I do remember most of those guys, right? That's a list of quarterbacks right there.
Back.
And that doesn't even say Tavaka Tuioti on there.
Right, if we're going back 16 years.
This is 8 to 9, he claims.
When Portery stopped playing?
Donovan played, he played in the 07 New Mexico Bowl, so that's 13 years ago. Yeah.
So if we're going back 13, 14 years, the list for colleges can seem a little bit crazy if you're just naming off quarterbacks that didn't take snaps too.
Yes. But a lot of these guys took a snap or two. Remember the whole Smiling David Vega thing?
He smiles. Let him play.
He smiles. He looks happy. He looks like he's enjoying. He should play. He smiles a lot. And the other guys don't look like they're having fun. Oh, okay. He's local. He should play. Yes, that was a real conversation around here. He smiles a lot.
Smiles through the pain. Let him play quarterback.
Goodness gracious. That's a hell of a list, man. I think it's fairly thorough. There you had guys on there I don't remember.
What's so much? It's injuries. It's how many offensive coordinators had they had over that time. It's when you felt like you had an identity, immediately went away from it, and that's why you're in this situation.
Yep. Rod says Hughes. I was talking to some Louisville fans yesterday, Jefferson, and their battle cry was how different this season might have been if their starting quarterback had not been re-injured before ever stepping foot on the court. I have no idea how good Brant Hughes was not. I don't know. I don't know. Would we see a half of Brant Hughes? The opener last season against like South Dakota State or Sam Houston State or something? I don't know. He won the job, I think, right? Or did Bob Davey tell us Tavaka won it? But who won the job coming out of last year?
It's Brant Hughes starting at quarterback game one. You say, well, Brant Hughes won the job because if Tavaka is your starting quarterback, even with the time he missed due to, his family issues. He had some members. I think his grandfather passed away in camp, so he was away a little bit. You still think against Abilene Christian, your starting quarterback would be able to go if it's Tavaka. Sorry,
Abilene Christian. But then didn't Bob tell us later in the season? Well, Tavaka was our starter. He won the job out of camp anyway, but we started Brant. Wasn't that kind of one of the rallying cries mid-season when they had to go to the bullpen and call him the lefty, the righty? I don't know, but the quarterback situation, the revolving door, we've spent hours talking about this, hours on this show and other places talking about this, and it's been an issue around here, and it's here you are again. It's an issue now. You're 6 games into the season. You're on your 3rd quarterback of the season. If you want to count Brant Hughes, you're on your 4th quarterback of the season. You're on your 4th string guy going into a game, and I don't know when or if. Would you count on getting Trey Hall? So we know it's a rib injury. Do we know what the rib injury is? Is Trey Hall done?
I think it's kind
so they're not cracked. Okay, they're not broken.
Well, yeah.
Okay, so you might see Trey Hall again. There's 2 weeks left.
Yes, if he's cleared to go, we'll see Trey Hall again. But it won't be this Saturday.
Yeah, and do you expect that we would see Tavaka again? I'm guessing not at this point. And, I've asked you the question if you just joined us. Tavaka's had a number of concussions. This one obviously is I think they're all serious. This one feels like it's more severe just because it's been so long. Is it worth going back out there for the young man? I'm working on the third concussion that we know of. He's a senior. Health-wise, live your life, young man. Go be healthy and enjoy yourself and do great things. And take care of yourself. This isn't, we don't want you playing quarterback. This is more, we want you to be whole. We want you to go and live as healthy a life as you can. And is it worth coming out for a game or two at the end of your senior season? And I get it, man. Kid probably wants to play, and I'm never going to get to play again. This is it. But, you ask the question, is it worth it? And I can't answer that question. I can't for someone else. But I can ask it, and I can think about it. Right?
Especially when it comes to head injuries. I think it absolutely is fair with 2 games left and him still not being cleared to practice. Is it worth the risk? And you're right. You can't tell someone not to do something if it's like the last opportunity that they could possibly ever get to be playing football. But you have to have that conversation, man. It's about his health. And as you said, moving forward, life after football, what's that going to be like for you?
Yeah. All right. Think about this. Someone may be watching your home. Someone might be watching your business. And if a criminal wants to break in, they notice when you come and go. They know when their chance is. Aaron Jones owns International Protective Service. It's IPS. You've seen their vehicles around town. I've trusted them for years to watch my home, to secure what's important to me and to my family. So when you can't be there, he's got highly trained armed officers who can be the eyes protecting your home or your business with on-site guards or 24-hour patrols. So the bad guys then cannot predict the good times to target you. I know we're all doing e-commerce. There was packages on my doorstep yesterday. You're getting stuff delivered. Don't be a victim. Protect what's important to you. Do everything you can to give your family that sense of security. Call IPS. There's no contracts. It's made me feel better. It's made my family, my neighbors feel better. The number is 505-897-2420. 505-897-2420. You can go to ipsglobal.com. International Protective Service is committed to making Albuquerque a safer place to live and to do business.
Do you own or rent your home?
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Sports Network. Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Plays it across the box off the dasher. It's settled. Shot up by Garcia. Trickles in. Goal.
Chavez blocked at the rim. And here's Dorian Lewis to Watson.
Shot on and just wide. Big deflection. Goal.
With his first field goal. Look at that. That's gorgeous.
Not a game you can go have 25 turnovers in and win.
Get that out of here, Watson says. Here comes Hodnett all the way. He's blocked in return. Dickey, did he get it off? He did, and he hit it. They're really... Oliveras. Wild three, and it hit.
Another steal nearly by Hidon. It is a steal. Avalos ahead to Hidon. The two-hand hammer by Hidon. I knew he was going to put that one down.
ProView Networks tonight.
District matchup there.
Davidson took it away in transition. Might be time for a jam. Yes.
Oh! Big Barton, watch him, coach. Watch the inbounder.
Duma Sanchez in the corner.
Back to Barton with 2.4 seconds left. Fires for the win.
And he got it!
It's good.
Oh my God!
On the last second shot.
He did!
Oh my
God!
Bakes it in from 25 feet and watch the celebration right in front of us. What a shot by Barton. He was double teamed and somehow found a way to get it in.
Ramos to Gaxiola. High window for the win. It's good. It counts. Gaxiola with the game winner for a Driscoll Heritage.
The New Mexico High School Coaches Association, established in 1941, is an organization of New Mexico's best and most professional interscholastic coaches. Coaches across work daily to help our student athletes excel in the classroom, on the field of play, and in our communities. Students that participate
So, can you play quarterback for the Lobos? JJ, meanwhile, they're playing a team that's pretty good, moving the ball offensively. They're on their second quarterback. Wyoming is. But they look pretty good moving the football. Did you get an update? And I didn't get a chance to see. I saw Xavier Valadez, their running back, was hurt early in the week. He got hurt in the game last weekend against UNLV. Is there word on him? Is he kind of a questionable status right now?
I think questionable is good to call Valadez this weekend, and that's the difference. You're looking at an established program with a stout offensive line, a top 2 running back in this league. They're built for the way they want to play. So when they get down to their backup, yes, it's frustrating, but they're still able to play their brand of football. You get down to quarterback number 4. In this case, if you're in New Mexico, you're in year 1 of trying to lay that foundation, trying to get through to all these guys. Hey, these are the expectations. This is what I want you to do. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's tough. I wonder, when you talk to the players, do you get the feeling they're pressing? I got a text from a good buddy of mine Monday after listening to Danny on our show. And, he said, man, it sounds like it's getting to him. I'm going to guess it is. He said, that comment he made about, don't baby him on the field, and I'm paraphrasing now, but don't go get him. I mean, if you're almost dead, we'll go get you off the field, but I had to hold the trainers back and whatever. And it was, that he said, that seemed a little harsh. I'm like, it's just who they are and what they're trying to do as far as establish a culture of toughness and, I don't know, things to hit people differently, but there was a piece of me that you could hear Danny getting frustrated. If you play a clip of a coach before the opening game and before the closing game of the season on our show, I mean, you hear a different tone. Obviously you do, and certainly around here with losing seasons over the last bunch of years, it wears on you, man. Danny's been part of programs for the last 2 decades that have won. Whether it's been at New Mexico, whether it's been at San Diego State, whether it's been at Arizona State. There haven't been a lot of 0-5 starts, let alone, the frustration. And as much as you know what you're getting into, do you know what you're getting into? Meaning, as much as you know it's a reclamation project, you know you're doing a rebuild, you know you're going to have to sift through players and get rid of guys who just don't buy in and don't want to be there, but you know what you do works, right? What Danny Gonzalez does, what Rocky Long does, their way of doing it, I think is fair. It's proven enough over the last 2 decades. But as much as you try to convince yourself, I know what I'm getting myself into. Now you sit here on December 2nd, you haven't won a game yet. It's got to be frustrating. And so he said, do you think it's getting to him? Hell yeah, it's got to be getting to him. I don't think you'd be satisfied if it wasn't getting to him, right?
And I think that's also just who he is overall. Like his standards, his expectations, he's going to come across a lot harsher no matter what than what people are used to. Bob Davie was the polished, I'm going to say stuff without really saying anything, been there, done that guy, when it came to handling things week in and week out. Danny is, at this point in time, more willing to share everything because, as he says, what he says to us, what he says to the media is stuff he addresses with this team. And if you don't like it, that's who he is, and that kind of goes to the buy in or you can find somewhere else to play type of mentality that they're trying to establish. And he's said it multiple times. He's a guy that losing is going to hurt him, affect him more than winning feels good. So he's always going to have that edge to him, kind of regardless of how they play, of the frustration. Was it good enough? What do we have to do to get better? And absolutely, I think everyone on the outside kind of had this feeling like, okay, this could be exciting. Danny, Rocky Long's back, but with the understanding that it's going to take time, man, because this is down to recruiting. It's down to player development, not just schemes. Like this is a rebuild of a program.
So I think here's what frustrated all of us, and I'm sure him. Whether he admitted it those first 3 games, we all saw a ton of progress, right? That first game out where they played
San Jose
State. San Jose State's a pretty good team, right? Here they are. They're still undefeated in this league. There they were. They lost by 17, but you saw them move the ball. All right, they're competitive. That's what we wanted, right? A team that fights. It looks different. That's feisty. Next week out, they go to Hawaii. They're right there in the game. They got beat by some big balls. Okay, they got to fix that over-the-top defense thing, but they're kind of stuffing the run a little bit. They're moving the ball. Tavaka looks good. Okay, I see progress. Next week out, you play a Nevada team that was undefeated. You've got the ball with your backup quarterback because your quarterback got knocked out. You got the ball, and you're driving for what would be a potential with a 2-point conversion, game-winning touchdown, and you had 2 drop passes. I mean, literally, Jordan Kress dropped the ball at the 7-yard line, and then the 4th down pass was catchable. And so you walk out of those, and we're all kind of going, all right, I see it. And then the last 2 weeks, you got shut out by an Air Force team that's average this year. Maybe I think above that. We'll see what Air Force is about the next few weeks. We haven't really seen them play a lot. They're 2-2. But an Air Force team that won 11 games last year, they beat you 28-0. And then you last week was your week where, okay, this is the week we're going to put it together, and you're up 13 to 6 at halftime, and then they give up 28 straight points, and you walked away scratching your head, and your coach tells you you're not a good football team. I think that progression, if you saw that inversely, if you take these backwards. The first game was Utah State. All right, well, we just have to learn how to win. All right, we got shut out at Air Force. And then you went Nevada, Hawaii, San Jose State. You'd say, all right, I feel better. I'm seeing progression. And I think that's where a lot of this frustration's coming from Danny, from fans, from whoever, because you saw so much progress, just your eye test, just what we all think we know about football. We saw it in the first 3 weeks, and you don't feel you've seen it as much in the last 2.
Absolutely. I think that is one of the areas where there is so much frustration from everyone within the program and those following it is you were pleasantly surprised the first 3 games. Everything you just laid out, you're like, okay, you took a step forward. You're competing. You're in a 1-score game with a Nevada team that was coming in with Carson Strong, that not just Danny, but other people thought was the best quarterback in the conference. You held them to 27 points. And they go into Air Force, which you knew was going to be difficult, but it had that feel like, okay, is this going to be the streak breaker? Shutout, goose egg. Offense took a huge step back. And then you go in as favorites to Utah State. Yeah, we can go over all the question marks, etc. And somehow their quarterback that played whole 33 snaps looks like he's been there for 2 years and is the future of their offense. So I think that is a big part of just the extra frustration from Danny, and then just kind of the frustration overall is you're right. You flip this around, you're like, oh, this is a good progression. You took your lumps early, you got better. Whereas now all of a sudden you're like, against the teams that you thought were going to be the more competitive games, they've actually been the least competitive for stretches for the New Mexico.
Yeah, I just think that's a big part of where where people are right now. And I think Danny's handling it well. I don't think Danny's changed all that much in his approach. If he's getting frustrated, I would tell you that's natural, and I appreciate that. Like, I would want my coach to get frustrated. We talked all summer. What did you expect? What did you think you were going to see out of Lobo football? I think you're seeing what you thought you were going to see. Now, everything except for I think we all thought there'd be a breakthrough somewhere. You were going to get a win. And you may still. Utah State was a really good chance to get that win, right? You don't have a UNLV on the schedule. Like the teams, I would like to see them play Colorado State, because I think they could be. They're competitive with Colorado State. Hell, they're competitive with, would you say, 3 of the best 4 teams in the league right now? With Boise State being not on the schedule, would you say Hawaii, Nevada, and San Jose State are the other 3 best teams in the league? Maybe San Diego State in there, but San Diego State lost to Nevada. Right.
With the best teams on their schedule to this point, they were more competitive against the better teams than the teams that are supposed to be at the time like them.
Yeah. Yeah, and so you know it's there, and that's what tells me this is going in the right direction. And the other piece that tells me, and this is where, because I'm not like as invested as some of you are, I'm willing to have patience, but I know, because I've watched it for the last 2 decades. I've been here, I think this is my 25th football season at UNM. Okay, I watched it work. I watched Rocky's system when he got here in 2000. What was it? 2000? What was the Inside? In 1998 when he got here. Okay, Franchione went to the Insight.com Bowl in '97, and then Rocky's teams won 2 games, then 3 games, then 4 games, then 5 games, then 6 games. I watched that, and it's tough to be patient. And I'm not telling you it's going to take that long. I'm not telling you it's not, but I watched it work. I watched what he built here into a team that was bowl eligible for 7 or 8 straight years. I watched him take it over at San Diego State and have the best decade in the history of that program. Remember what San Diego State was before he got there, and look what they are now. And Danny's off of that same tree and doing it, in essence, the same way. And that tells me it works. It doesn't tell me it's going to work overnight, but it tells me it works, and that's why. And so I see it. Yeah, there's setbacks. Yeah, you're getting your quarterbacks hurt right now, but to me, that's why I bought in, and I believe this is going to happen here, and I think you're on the same page.
Yeah, the point that its staff has been here when it's worked, the San Diego State piece to it, and just look at the Mountain Division, because that is the ultimate test for this team. You're playing the majority of your games, year in, year out, trying to compete to be in a conference championship game. Boise State is still above everyone else. But if you can do it in Laramie, you can do it in Fort Collins, you can do it in Logan, Utah, you can get the players needed to succeed in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Yeah, no, that's right. All right, 505-246-0610. I got a bunch of emails coming in at jeff@610knml.com. You can send them there, or jj@610knml.com. If you want to get in on a little football, I'd love to hear your thoughts, because here you are, and I'm listening to the frustration. I'm down with it. Want your thoughts on Kelvin Scarborough as well, the Lobo basketball legend who passed away and touched so many of you in this community. And if you knew Kelvin, you knew his personality and how magnetic it was. So you can get in on that. We're on ProView Networks, and you can watch the show there. And remember the replay, Comcast Channel 26 every day. That comes up at 3 o'clock. Hey, who belongs to Kirtland Federal Credit Union? You do. Kirtland Federal Credit Union welcomes Albuquerque. If you're a hiker, a biker, an I-40 driver, Kirtland Federal Credit Union is for you. For over 60 years now, Kirtland Federal Credit Union has been a fixture for those who live on, work on, or support Kirtland Air Force Base. That includes active duty military, National Guard, base government employees and contractors, base employees and their families. Now they welcome you to share in their success. See what Kirtland Federal Credit Union can do for you. Apply online and take a look at what they can do. Full banking services, fee-free ATMs, JJ. That's 30,000 fee-free ATMs nationwide and 100 right here in Albuquerque. And the technology you need to keep pace with your life. Kirtland Federal Credit Union is for you. KirtlandFCU.org. Join today. KirtlandFCU.org. Kirtland Federal Credit Union is an equal housing lender, federally insured by the NCUA.
Heavy backups and road closures.
Get into the game with Garden Swartz Team Sales. They have everything you need, from screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing services, high school letterman jackets, and all high school and club uniforms, and individual and team apparel with the most reliable brands like Speedline, Rawlins, and Wilson. And don't forget to check out the latest F7 Shut helmet. It's all at Garden Swartz Team Sales. Give them a call, 505-884-1234. Garden Swartz Team Sales.
Creates space. He gives it off to Rivas for the three, and he buries it.
Coming in soon. Double kick set for Avalos. Goes to the right. Avalos puts it up high. Window. Scores it as foul.
Right here by Lewis all the way, coast to coast, and finish.
What a...
Around the screen. Against White. Step back. It's blocked. JB with the block.
In transition. Ahead to hit on. Hit on for the two-hand hammer.
Seconds to go. They've got a shot. They have a chance. And it's put up. And it's good. What a three that is by Jalen.
Puts it up.
Rebound Cowboys. Right side David Hall. Thank you very much. Here come the Cowboys. Domina Lovato lays it up. Missed it. Hey, how about it? Thank you, Lusses. Thank you very much, Raquan Mitchell. Clock at 6. They get it. Barnes Tompkins fires. Yes! Pass up Card. This for the win. Blocked by DJ Bustos. Cowboys win. Cowboys win.
He's got 4 points. Watson, though, goes all the way.
Hit the deck, I should say. Cordova tried to throw it off. Romero, a 3 for...
Set out to Jutapia. Nice move behind his back. It's a good... Here's Ramos, step back, high arcing, 20!
But he needed to get his legs back under him.
Ooh, a little kick.
They leave it one more time. Two-hand hammer.
Look at this, they're not going to score again. Look at this.
Up top. Yes, and the finish for
On the radio. Wednesday afternoon football, of course it is, man. You expect that. So you know that week between Christmas and New Year's where there's games all the time. You expect it then. All right, what's on? You know, no matter what time of day. All right, what is it? Tuesday afternoon. You turn on your TV and there's the Armed Forces Bowl, or there's the Military Bowl, or there's the Motor City Bowl, or whatever. It's kind of like that. It's you're getting. It's somewhat like that week between Christmas and New Year's today, where you get football on a Wednesday afternoon, although this is an NFL game. Opening drive, Jeff, JJ, Micah, Alden, and Josh. 505-246-0610. Jeffrey, who, by the way, filled in yesterday, I think all week, for Brandon Vogt over on News Radio KKOB. Jeffrey joins us on the opening drive. Good morning, sir.
Yes, I'm filling in for Brandon tonight from 6 to 8 p.m. on the Big Stick. But, you know, I'm feeling a bit melancholy today, and, you know, this is the second time I've called with sobering news about, you know, a member of our community who's no longer here, Kelvin Scarborough. And, you know, he's from the East Coast. I'm from South Broadway, Albuquerque, New Mexico. And somehow we became really good friends. We were introduced through Marvin Johnson and Rob Robbins 25 years ago, something like that. And, you know, Scar the athlete was, in my view, one of the top 5 guards in the annals of Lobo history. But I just wanted to share, I got to know Scar the man, and you knew him well, Jeff. He had such an infectious personality, an infectious smile, and, you know, a lot of folks may not know, he was extremely community-minded, altruistic. I mean, you would literally call the guy and say, hey, you know, Scar, is there any way you can come down to this event and, you know, sign a few autographs or just, you know, have your presence? And he would just do it. And he had
every time.
Every time. And so the other thing that I really admired about him is, you know, he comes from a completely different, you know, culture, East Coast, lower middle class area, the whole thing. But he just really assimilated into New Mexico, into Albuquerque, into the community. He just became part of the texture of our community. And the one thing I remember about him probably most was his just unrelenting loyalty. And so, yes, we remember Scar the athlete, in my view, one of the top 5 point guards in the history of Lobo basketball. But Scar the man, the altruism, his infectious smile, and his loyalty. And I just wanted to say openly and publicly, I loved Kelvin Scarborough. Absolutely.
Yeah, a lot of people did, Jeffrey. That's really good. Thank you for that. Scar was different, man. Scar was different. And I say different in a good way. And this isn't to say that other people weren't community-oriented and we all try to do things. Scar lived his life for that. Scar, and again, I'm going to tell you the best quote I saw on Kelvin Scarborough yesterday on the social media, and there were so many, that he cared about other people more than he cared about himself. And you know, it sounds cute, it sounds trite, JJ. Oh, yeah, no, he really cared. No, I believe that about Kelvin. And knowing what he did for kids, underprivileged kids, not only underprivileged kids, but so many underprivileged kids. The basketball community, the AAU community, the college alumni, there's so many players who've gone through here. You know, I put on the New Mexico Bowl Twitter, he was a great Lobo, and he was one of the best Lobos ever from everything I heard. and saw, but he was a better person. And when you can say you've got a great legacy on the field, on the court, in your athletic arena, but yet you were even better after your playing career, and you impacted positively more people after you're done playing, performing, man, that's something to talk about. And I firmly believe, and again, Kelvin was not a man of rich means. He wasn't, a guy who could just go out and spend and spend and spend. But Kelvin was able to find the resources and find, hey, what are you going to do with those extra T-shirts? Can I get them to my team? There's kids who could really use those sweatshirts. I don't know. Should I give them to Alden and Josh, or should we give them to those kids? And that's where they go. Right, but that's who Kelvin was. JJ, if your legacy says you've got people saying about you, he cared more about other people than about himself. He impacted countless people that he didn't know. That anybody who I met loved Kelvin Scarborough. Then you got a hell of a legacy.
And that was evident yesterday. I didn't have a lot of personal interaction with him. I did not know him like that. But when you listen to people talk about him and you're just reading quotes, it became evident really quickly that, yeah, he was a great player, but an even better person. And the impact that he had in this city and this community for the decades after he ended his Lobo basketball career, or is even more important than what he did on that basketball court.
All right, we're going to go back to the phones. We got back. I got to take this break because we're overdue. JT, stay there. I want to hear what you have to say. Remember Kelvin Scarborough, and love to hear your stories about a Lobo legend, a community legend, which I think is even greater. It's the opening drive on ProView Networks at 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Sports Network. Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Plays it across the box off the dasher. It's settled. Shot on by Garcia. Trickles in. Goal.
Chavez blocked at the rim. And here's Dorian Lewis to Watson.
Shot on and just wide. Big deflection. Goal.
With his first field goal. Look at that. That's gorgeous.
Not a game you can go have 25 turnovers in and win.
Get that out of here, Watson says. Here comes Hodnett all the way. He's blocked in return. Dickey, did he get it off? He did, and he hit it. They're really... Oliveras. Wild three, and it hit.
Another steal nearly by Hidon. It is a steal. Avalos ahead to Hidon. The two-hand hammer by Hidon. I knew he was going to put that one down.
ProView Networks tonight.
District matchup there.
Davidson took it away in transition. Might be time for a jam. Yes.
Oh! Big Barton, watch him, coach. Watch the inbounder.
Dumas Sanchez in the corner.
Back to Barton with 2.4 seconds left. Fires for the win.
And he got it!
It's good.
Oh my God!
On the last second shot.
He did! Oh my God!
Bakes it in from 25 feet and watch the celebration right in front of us. What a shot by Barton. He was double teamed and somehow found a way to get it in.
Ramos to Gaxiola, high window for the win. It's good. It counts. Gaxiola with the game winner for a Driscoll Heritage.
The New Mexico High School Coaches Association, established in 1941, is an organization of New Mexico's best and most professional interscholastic coaches. Coaches across work daily to help our student athletes excel in the classroom, on the field of play, and in our communities. Students that participate in interscholastic activities attain higher grades, higher graduation rates, and higher wages. Responsible for the North-South All-Star Games, statewide Coaches Award Program, and providing multiple professional development opportunities for New Mexico's coaches. Be a great coach by coaching beyond the game. Get into the game with Garden Swartz Team Sales. They have everything you need, from screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing services. High school letterman jobs.
All right, remembering a Lobo legend on this Wednesday, Kelvin Scarborough. Lobos have not played a basketball game this year yet. I'm hearing whispers maybe this weekend, maybe Sunday. Aggies won last night 92-54 in Arizona. They beat Benedictine Mesa. And next up for them, at least on the schedule now, there may be something in between. They'll play at Arizona. Yes, the big boy Arizona on the 12th, a week from Saturday. 505-246-0610 is the number. Jeff Siembieda, JJ Buck. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal. Rudy, good morning. How you doing, Rudy?
I'm doing great. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
This one might be a little tough. You know, that was a real shock. I met Kelvin Scarborough the day that he walked on campus, and he was just an amazing guy, an amazing basketball player. I think it was Irv Brown, the commentator, that said one time that kid plays like he's got a rocket in his shorts.
Right.
He was just so fast. Yeah, he was unbelievable. And of course, I watched Danny Gonzalez's press conference, and that really caught Coach Gonzalez off guard. But I'll never forget that dunk. You know, the distance he traveled gets a little longer, but it was pretty much right around between the circles. and he just took the ball and dunked it right over a 6'8" guy to beat Colorado State. And the thing about Kelvin is after that is when you really found out who Kelvin was. And I'll just put it this way. You know, part of my practice over the years, I've represented various Lobo athletes who've been accused of crimes and needed help. And the first phone call that I got when Kenny was in trouble was from Kelvin. The first phone call I got when Malcolm Battles was in trouble was from Kelvin. Anytime Kelvin found out that there was a Lobo in trouble and I was involved, he would call me. And he never tried to interfere. All he ever did was offer encouragement and help and say, you know, Rudy, I'm here if you need anything. That was Kelvin. And it's a huge loss because he lived a great life of service to others. If there was ever a person that deserves a number 10 patch on the uniform for the rest of the year, because I'll never forget number 10. He was something else.
Yeah, it's amazing, Rudy, how many players say Kelvin was the guy who embraced me when I got to Albuquerque. And it's players in Lobo basketball throughout the years. It's not just around his time. I heard Kenny say it. I've heard modern players say it. It's amazing how he was still part of that program through all the different coaches. And the different coaches over the years have welcomed Kelvin and other alumni in at different levels. But how involved he was. He loved this community. He loved Lobo basketball. He loved basketball. He loved the kids. And the stories like that are incredible. And I know that he was always there when guys needed help.
Yeah, one more thing, because I know you want to get everybody in this morning. If you are serious about Lobo football, and if you really want to know Danny Gonzalez, that press conference that he did day before yesterday, it's online. People can see it if they go to Go Lobos. And we have got the best coach to lead this program. He is just an amazing person. And I feel so good about what Danny's able to do, because one thing he said at his press conference, he said, I am going to be honest. You know, and he's got some good mentors. He talks to Coach Fran a lot, and he's got Rocky on his staff. And I just really feel good about the program and going forward. It sucks to be 0-5, believe me. But I know there are better days ahead. And when he gets us going, UNM is going to win in football. Thanks for the time, guys.
Right.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Rudy. Rudy called 505-246-0610. Yeah, those are the stories you hear about Kelvin. Don says, Jeff, I was blessed to be able to watch Kelvin Scarborough's entire Lobo career. He was so athletic and a great player. But the real blessing regarding Kelvin was when I had the opportunity to officiate his high school basketball games. He made you feel like he knew you forever and was so genuine. As a basketball official / head coaching relationship, that says an awful lot. Officiating his games was so much fun because he engaged you constantly in a humorous, positive way. He would question your calls and work you, but never did it in a negative way. He was always smiling and so good with the kids. That was my experience with Kelvin, and I'll always remember my brief time with him. He'll be missed. Kevin was a howler. That's from Don. Do I have time for JT's call? What do I got left? I got 1 minute left, or I got time? Okay. All right, JT, good morning. How you doing, JT?
How you doing, man? How's my sports animal family doing?
I think we're all right, man. How you holding up?
Oh, doing good, man. Hey, man, any of us lifelong Lobo fans are hurting right now, Jeff. We're hurting a little bit. Because let me tell you something. Calvin Scarborough was, man, he was one of those legends we love. I mean, I remember the big games in the pit, and he was just, you know, he would just bring us back or lead us to victory, you know. And all our legends, you know, I mean, we're just taken aback and shocked, and I echo, you know, the thoughts by everybody that's called in already, man. Calvin Scarborough made his mark when he quit playing. I mean, if there's anybody that stayed to help our community, you know, he had a rough upbringing, you know, DC, you know, he had it rough. and he stayed here and he helped our kids, especially the ones, you know, obviously that played basketball. Any of us who played basketball in Albuquerque, whether high school, hoop it up, New Mexico games, Calvin Scarborough was always there. You know, no matter what, he had a team going. He was helping the kids. He was trying to get the kids to do the right thing. And man, that hurts me, man. But you know, I'll rest in peace, Calvin, and to his family and people that loved him. You know, we pray for them, and you know, these guys stick around, man. The Lobo legends stick around. Marvin Johnson, Hunter Green. I mean, they love it here because they know we got them. We got their back. So take care,
That's
guys.
good, man. No, it's good. It's really good. I appreciate that, JT. Getting an idea about Kelvin? Getting to know him a little bit now?
Absolutely. And I think it's
1 minute.
It says so much when you're a great player, a great Lobo basketball player, but your legacy is more than that. Like his lasting impact. Yeah, you have those memories of what he did on that hardwood, but it's everything off it.
Yeah, I think that's so dead on. You can keep them coming. What are your thoughts on Calvin Scarborough, who touched so many of you and so many in our community? We could talk Lobo football more about the quarterback situation. We still got to get in the college football playoff. Aggies won last night. You can get into that or what you watched with the Champions Classic, college basketball well underway. 2460610 is how to be part of the show. We're on ProView Networks. You can watch us on ProViewNetworks.com. Facebook, the OD and the AM. You can watch the show there. And, of course, listen to the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
All high school and club uniforms and individual and team apparel with the most reliable brands like Speedline, Rawlins, and Wilson. And don't forget to check out the latest F7 Shut helmet. It's all at Garden Swords Team Sales. Give them a call, 505-884-1234. Garden Swords Team Sales.
Creates space. He gives it off to Rivas for the three, and he buries it.
Gonna be coming in soon. Double pick set for Avalos. Goes to the right. Avalos puts it up high. Window. Scores it as foul.
Right here by Lewis all the way, coast to coast, and finish.
What a
Around the screen against White. Step back. It's blocked. JB with the block.
In transition, ahead to hit on for the two-hand hammer.
Minutes to go. They've got a shot. They have a chance, and it's put up, and it's good. What a three that is by Jalen.
Hidon puts it up.
Rebound Cowboys. Right side David Hall. Thank you very much. Here come the Cowboys. Lamina Lovato lays it up. Missed it. Hey, how about it? Thank you, Lusses. Thank you very much, Raquan Mitchell. Clock at 6. They get it. Barnes Tompkins fires. Yes! Pass up court. This for the win. Blocked by DJ Bustos. Cowboys win. Cowboys win.
second field goal. He's got 4 points. Watson, though, goes all the way.
Hit the deck, I should say. Cordova tried to throw it off Romero. A three for...
set out to Jutapia. Nice move behind his back. It's a good. Here's Ramos, step back, high arcing, playing it.
Well, he needed to get his legs back under him.
Ooh, little kick.
They leave it one more time to Ed Hammer. Up top! Yes, and the finish for Akbayosi. Saved into the hands of Riak, ahead of the pack to Davina Lovato. Up high, down hard for Akbayosi. Out of the corner, Casals, the 3-0, Katenge! Let me clean up the mess! He dropped out of the rafters for that one, Steve.
Dorian over. Did he get in?
Yeah, they got in. He got in.
Touchdown, Dorian Lewis.
Seconds to play. Benavides looking, still looking up the middle. It's intercepted. It's picked off by Freddie Anaya and Roswell.
As they reverse it there, he'll force up a three that's buried. The biggest shot of Jalen Wilson's career has the Jayhawks back down one.
65-62, the Jayhawks of Kansas beat Kentucky yesterday in the Champions Classic. That was in Indianapolis. That was courtesy of Kansas radio. Basketball was good last night. Michigan State won at Cameron Indoor in the Champions Classic. 75-69, they beat Duke. And then you watch Kansas beat Kentucky by that score of 65-62. Aggies were winners last night, 92-54. 92-54, New Mexico State beat Benedictine Mesa on the road in a little gym somewhere in Mesa, Arizona. Aggies will play Arizona, the big dogs, Arizona on the 12th. And waiting for official word on Lubbock basketball, but I'm hearing some whispers maybe Sunday. It's the opening drive. Jeff Siembieda and JJ Buck. Micah's producing on the radio side, and Alden and Josh producing on ProView Networks. And JJ, good win for the Aggies last night. I honestly, I have no idea what to make out of it. Jan said after the game, yeah, he's not sure if they got better. They went out, they took care of an NAIA school, and that was what was in front of them.
That's the type of early season game that you expect. An opponent, stretch your legs against, run them out of the gym. That's exactly what happened. In New Mexico State is in a position. They're practicing. They're playing games. Eyes towards a big one now against Arizona. This is the way a season normally starts. It just happens to be in a different state.
That's right. All right, we're also talking about Kelvin Scarborough, and the former Lobo great, but more so a community legend who touched so many lives, passed away. Word came out yesterday. We've been hearing stories from many of you. Fred, good morning. I know you knew Kelvin. You worked with him so much with the New Mexico Games. He was so active in regards to especially the men's basketball. Fred, how you doing?
Good. Yeah, that was a shocker to all of us, and that's exactly what I wanted to call about what Calvin did for the New Mexico Games. It was amazing how he comes up to me and says, "Hey, let's really make this cool. Let me get all the Lobo players that's played the last 15, 20 years, and I'll give them a call and have them all come down, always on the New Mexico Games weekend." And that's when we really shot our numbers up to 235 teams, and we had 40 teams on the waiting list. And one of the funnier stories really is two of the biggest names that he brought in. He brought in Kenny Thomas when he was playing for Houston, and he brought in Charles Smith when he was playing for the Clippers, and I remember when he brought Kenny in, everybody in the world wanted to play against Kenny, and he was really taking a beating. As big as he was, they just wanted to play against Kenny. And then Charles Smith, though, was a real story. He wanted him to play on his team, and his team was getting beat. And he said, come on, Charles. And he said, no, I can't afford to get hurt. And he said, you can't get hurt. Just come on in. And so we get him in the game. And dang if he didn't break his foot. I don't know if you remember that, because a lot of people probably don't remember, but he was playing for the Clippers, and he broke his foot on the next to last game of the semifinal game. And you know what? Charles didn't get mad. You know how Calvin is. He didn't, he just took it, like it was no big deal. But the one thing he did, too, that I know people have talked about is he helped the Native Americans a lot by going out there. Every year he'd go, and, of course, everybody gave him shirts. I don't know how many people did that. I give about 300 shirts, 300 bags. I give him a bunch of medals. And he'd go out to the Native. In fact, he just did that about 30 or 45 days ago. I don't know how he could have done anything, but he came and got him from me. And I'll never forget the guy, because the guy was one of the top guards, in playing for New Mexico. And I think we're all going to remember that dunk. We've all talked about that dunk he had, but God, just his numbers were amazing, especially his senior year. It was just amazing. I've never seen a better point guard doing the things that he did between, the assists, the steals, averaging almost 20 points a game. He's just an amazing player, and God, I'm just going to miss the heck out of him, because I've always saw him every year. In fact, I did. Luckily, I got to see him just about 30 days ago, but I just wanted to tell you a little bit about that, how he really helped the games and shot the games into, we were having, turn people away. That's how big it was. So.
Hey, Fred, so basketball, the New Mexico games, that Memorial Day weekend is so big. And I remember at Channel 7, it blew my mind when I first got here how big that was. and it wasn't just one Lobo alumni team. So there were like 2 or 3 teams that would have Lobo alumni.
3 or 4 teams. But he had his own team. He always had his own team.
Right.
And then he put 4 or 5 guys on 3 or 4 other teams. He'd make sure that everybody got on some teams, but he put about 5 more people on each of the teams. And but go ahead. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah, no. That's what made it so attractive. And I remember the crowds that would go into Johnson Gym just to watch. I remember going out there with a camera on my shoulder and talking to Kelvin and watching just all the different teams. And then it wasn't just Lobos at that point. You were getting regional guys. I remember UTEP alumni, a lot of Aggie alumni would come in, guys from Arizona, your tournament. And I didn't realize it was Kelvin who had started all that, because it really became a premier event around Memorial Day weekend.
It really was. I mean, the big thing is you look at the rosters, and some of the names would be on 4 different rosters. Of course, you could only be on one, but everybody's waiting for all the ex-players that played for anybody. It wasn't just like you said, the Lobos. Playing for all of the United States, and they're all coming in, and they all wanted to make sure to get back in time for the New Mexico games. And it was kind of funny because we had to really get on the rosters because we had their names, so many of them. So we had to find out, which team are you playing on? Let's go now. And it was just so much fun. It just, really basketball is what made the games big too, because once the games got big in basketball, all the other sports got bigger, and we were getting like 5,000 athletes, playing in the summertime, or more, 5,000 or 6,000 athletes playing. And but I'll never forget Calvin doing that for me. That was just so great. And he didn't want anything. We did let his team in free. We had to do that. But anyway, he was a great guy, and he always had a smile. And anytime you saw him, God, he's just always in such a good mood. And oh man, I tell you what, I cried yesterday.
Yeah, no, I get it. Hey, Fred, great stories, and I appreciate it. Be proud of what you've done. I don't know if I've ever told you this, man, but I'm proud of what you've created with the New Mexico Games. It's amazing what they became under your tutelage, under your leadership, and I know now that you've retired from that position. I don't know if I've ever told you that, but what you did is an amazing job, and I know how tough it is, and especially in this community, and be proud of what you built, because you built something that is very, very special, and it impacted a lot of people. But thanks for sharing those stories.
Okay. Hey, thanks, Jeff. Yeah, appreciate it.
Take care, Fred. All right, be well. Do you ever go out and watch the basketball at the New Mexico games?
Oh, I've heard about those games.
It was insane.
Absolutely.
It was insane. I didn't believe it. When I first got to Channel 7, Terry was gone. So Bob and I were talking about what are we going to do this weekend, and he says, well, you got to check this out. And I said, what are you talking about? New Mexico Games? What some little tournament? He's like, no, dude, it's going to be amazing. And the names that showed up over the years, and you're getting guys that played high school here or didn't play high school, and UTEP guys and Texas Tech guys and Arizona guys, and that was the tournament. And to hear, it makes sense that Kelvin was the guy that spearheaded that. Totally makes sense, because that's what he did. He was a unifier. He united people, brought everybody back into the fold. You know how in every group, like you're probably in your friend group, there's a glue guy, right? There's that person who, we're all in touch. I know all my old buddies. There used to be a buddy of ours named Aaron who passed away, and now Bone Daddy kind of does that. But there's always that glue guy who keeps everybody together and reaches out. And if you want to know what's going on with that guy, you go, right? It sounds like that's what Kelvin is.
Yeah, and a glue guy in the community for so many people, and it's one of those things that I always hate after the fact when you learn about these things, and you wish you could have been a bigger part of it when it was going on. But just to hear how much he meant to so many people, it's nice. Like you said, it sucks. These things are never going to get easier, but when you are able to have those memories and you're able to have an impact, you find out just the kind of man he was.
Well, that's why you hear all the time, and I say it a lot. Tell people you love them. Hug them if you got them. That's why I want to make sure I told Fred, and I don't know that I've ever told Fred how proud I am of what Fred Hultberg did with the New Mexico Games. I mean, I know how hard that man worked. We would go out to the torch lighting ceremony every year, and but what he did for this community, and that he didn't get paid a lot of money to do that. But what he did for this community, I just want to make sure, let him know. I remember a few years ago when I woke up to news, my buddy Rod Simons, who was a sportscaster in Seattle and kind of my mentor, JJ, when I was a young sportscaster in Washington, he was from Tri-Cities, and he introduced me to he took me around to the Kingdome, to Seattle Center. That's how I got into my big league experience started with Rod, and he was in Minneapolis, and it feels like yesterday. I think it's two and a half years ago. He was at spring training, and he told his little girl, who's my daughter's age, I'll be home tomorrow to see your dance recital. And he never woke up. He passed away, had a heart attack that night. And it just knocked me out, because I didn't get to tell him I loved him. And just what's going on this year, it's so corny, guys, and I get it. Just let people know, man. Let people know how you feel about them, because when it's too late, it's too late. And for some of these guys, we lost Nick on Monday, and we lost Kelvin this week, and I mean, on and on from Calvin and just so many people this year. And you just don't know. And I know it's corny, and I know it's cheesy, but I know that's kind of why I want to make sure I let Fred know what I thought about him just now. So, because when it's too late, JJ, it's too late. It is what it is, right, at that point. All right, 505-246-0610. I got some more emails on quarterback situations for the Lobos. Justin Malay stuff, reply to JJ stuff. I know you love when it comes in like that, right? It's the opening drive. We're on ProView Network at 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. Albuquerque's favorite spot. It's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Sports Network. Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Played over to Madrid, plays it across the box off the dasher. It's settled. Shot up by Garcia. Trickles in. Goal.
Chavez blocked at the rim. And here's Dorian Lewis to Watson.
Shot on and just wide. Big deflection. Goal.
With this first field goal. Look at that. That's gorgeous.
Not a game you can go have 25 turnovers in and win.
Get that out of here, Watson says. Here comes Hodnett all the way. He's blocked in return. Dickey, did he get it off? He did, and he hit it. They're really... Oliveras. Wild 3, and it hit.
Another steal nearly by Hiron. It is a steal. Avalos ahead to Hiron. The two-hand hammer by Hiron. I knew he was going to put that one down.
ProView Networks tonight.
District matchup there.
Davidson took it away in transition. Might be time for a jam. Yes.
Oh! Big Barton, watch him, coach. Watch the inbounder.
Duma Sanchez in the corner.
Back to Barton with 2.4 seconds left. Fires for the win.
And he got it!
It's good.
Oh my God!
On the last second shot.
He did!
Oh my
God!
Bakes it in from 25 feet and watch the celebration right in front of us. What a shot by Barton. He was double teamed and somehow found a way to get it in.
Ramos to Gaxiola. High window for the win. It's good. It counts. Gaxiola with the game winner for a Driscoll Heritage.
The The New Mexico High School Coaches Association, established in 1941, is an organization of New Mexico's best and most professional interscholastic coaches. Coaches across work daily to help our student athletes excel in the classroom, on the field of play, and in our communities. Students that participate in interscholastic activities attain higher grades, higher graduation rates, and higher wages. Responsible for the North-South All-Star Games, statewide Coaches Award Program, and providing multiple professional development opportunities for New Mexico's coaches. Be a great coach by coaching beyond the game. Get into the game with Garden Swartz Team Sales. They have everything you need, from screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing services, high school letterman jackets, and all high school and club uniforms, and individual and team apparel with the most reliable brands like Speedline, Rollins, and Wilson. And don't forget to check out the latest F7 Shut helmet. It's all at Garden Swartz Team Sales. Give them a call, 505-884-1234. Garden Swartz Team Sales.
To create space, he gives it off to Rivas for the three, and he buries it.
All right, Lobos and Wyoming is Saturday on the football pitch. Is it a pitch? Oh, don't start with me. It's a football field. They'll do it at Sam Boyd Stadium, their current home away from Burke. And they'll do it over on News Radio KKLB. JJ will have the pregame show at 7:30. Robert Portnoy have the play-by-play 8:30. It's on FS2. May have Lobo basketball this weekend, I don't know, but you do have football today, 1 o'clock. You get the Ravens and the Steelers. JJ was saying it feels like, that week between Christmas and Thanksgiving, doesn't matter what time, you 10 in the morning on a Tuesday, you turn it on and there's a game, right? It's kind of that's what kind of like today is, right? It's not a college game, it's not a bowl game, but it's a National Football League game on a Wednesday. Yeah.
And if you have the ability to watch it, you're going to, or listen to it on your home for the NFL, the sports animal, you're going to do that, even with all the question marks for Baltimore, who's coming into this game with only Gus Edwards available. It's RG3. It makes me feel like somehow, some way, this is going to be a close game. I think in the end, Pittsburgh does win 7 to 10 points. The spread, what we were talking about, around 10. We'll have to see the updated numbers. But I feel even with everything that's gone on with Baltimore, they really haven't been able to practice. They don't have a ton of players available. Somehow this is going to be like an ugly game. They'll keep it close. But then just too much Steelers in the end.
Yeah, I think it's going to be – I don't even think it's going to be close. I just look at the depleted rosters. It looks like Ingram and Dobbins didn't make the trip. Half of the defense for Baltimore didn't make the trip. And I think Pittsburgh's pissed. I just think this whole delay. I think, this is a heated rivalry. I mean, they don't like each other, right? If you pick a rivalry, Rams, Niners, Cowboys, Redskins, this one to me – oh, yeah, sorry. Well, it used to be Cowboys, that football team. To me, this is the rivalry in the modern-day NFL of teams that just flat. I mean, I just don't like those guys. Like, I think the Rams and Niners are – you're not supposed to like each other, football team and the Cowboys, the Raiders, and pick everybody else in the AFC West, right? But I think these are just they just don't like each other. They've had really physical battles, and I think what the Steelers, if you read some of the press, what the Steelers perceive as some of the BS that has gone on throughout this last week and a half to get this game pushed to a Wednesday afternoon. I don't know what the number is. What's the spread on it? Because I'm going to take the Steelers if it's anything inside of 9.5.
You can definitely understand the frustration in this case because it's been about safety, but when you lose that scheduling flexibility at the end, the NFL pigeonholed themselves into this point, and by being so steadfast, like things have to get done, bang, 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 and not giving yourself, say, a week or two on the back end just to be safe and make sure you run into a situation like this. It's the bye weeks are done. There's not an ability to move these games around anymore, and thus you're playing on a Wednesday. And even in a year, you expect things to be different. Still a Wednesday game being pushed back. Oh, it's Monday. Oh, it's delayed again Tuesday. Oh, it's delayed again Wednesday. Absolutely the frustration from Pittsburgh. And to your point, this has like an old school feel to it with the physicality. And ultimately, both these teams have been really good for the last decade. And when you're playing not just postseason, you're playing for the division every single year. Yeah, that has it at the top of the list.
Yeah, no, I think there's a lot to this one. I think Pittsburgh's going to pummel them. I do. And this game means more to Baltimore than it does to Pittsburgh, although Pittsburgh's playing for that undefeated record. Baltimore, like, who needs this game? You know, JJ, where I am on if there's two evenly matched teams, where do I always lean? Who needs it more, right? I always tend to lean that way, and Baltimore needs it more. I'm not convinced with the makeup of the Baltimore roster, with all the guys that are on the COVID list who are not playing. I don't know that I think they're that evenly matched. I just watched New England last time out beat Baltimore, didn't I? Now, that seems like it was a month ago, but was that the last time out?
You're right. You can't say they're evenly matched at this point in time with the number of players out for the Ravens, and just how solid the Steelers have been. I think Ben Roethlisberger, it's a name we all know. So it's like, oh, Ben Roethlisberger's playing well. Yeah, but he also just had his elbow torn apart last year. He's coming back from elbow surgery, and he's 39, 38 years old. What he's doing is kind of under the radar, but it's been fantastic for that offense, because now all of a sudden you saw them last year, even before he was hurt, even though it was so early on. It was Juju Smith-Schuster, it was James Conner, and then you're like, man, what, do they have anything? Well, all of a sudden, you have Deontay Johnson, Juju Smith-Schuster, Chase Claypool, another standout rookie in this class, and Ben Roethlisberger doing his thing.
Can you put him up for comeback player of the year? Who's your comeback player of the year? It's Alex Smith. It's got to be Alex Smith. Okay, Alex Smith gets it because, well, what Alex Smith went through is beyond anything. But I mean, can he be next?
He could win it.
Ben Roethlisberger could?
Yeah.
I mean, right?
I think we all saw Alex Smith almost lose his leg.
Yeah.
So that's going to be hard to vote against the guy for that, and then coming back to potentially quarterback a team to a division championship. Is that what they're called? Division one? What do they call them?
Division champions, yeah. Division champions.
So it's gonna be hard to say no to that guy.
And they may win that division, right? Washington may win that division, and if they do, and he leads them to that, he's your. I even think even if they don't, he's your comeback player of the year. But Roethlisberger missed all last year, and there was questions. Can he come back? Can he play? Is he too old? The people in that draft class, Eli, Phillip Rivers, you're watching be at the end. Ben Roethlisberger sure as hell doesn't look like he's at the end of me. I mean, that guy looks like he's got a couple more years in him, playing at a pretty damn good level. Oh, and by the way, they're 10-0. Like he still is a really good. When we start talking about the quarterbacks of this generation, Brady, Breeze, Rivers, he gets lost. Rodgers, he gets lost, and unfairly he gets lost. He's got 2 rings and has just won and done it in a way that is different than those other guys. Big, gigantic, strong dude who wins.
You know who he is, Jeff?
Who is he?
He's Dwayne Wade.
Okay. You think Dwayne Wade's way overlooked?
Absolutely. He won a title before LeBron got there. He was a top player in the league before LeBron got there, and people forget about that because of the Heatles.
Okay, I'm listening. He is, to me, the most
as other guys.
No.
Physical presence, get the job done.
I mean, if you want to tell me who's had a better career, him or Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Rodgers. He won 2. Rodgers won once. Breeze won once. Well, Breeze is the all-time leader in this. Oh, okay, that's fine. Ben's been right up there. I don't have the winning percentages in front of me, but I'd love to see him because I'm going to guess he's right there below Brady in winning percentage, right? I mean, we're not even going to have a conversation. Does he have a better career than Phillip Rivers? Phillip Rivers may have better numbers, may have more gaudy numbers. But are we even having a conversation? Did he have a better career than Phillip Rivers? Have a conversation with me about Eli. Him and Eli, they both won 2. I guarantee you, no doubt.
Eli Manning is one of the most bizarre quarterbacks of all time because when he had good teams, he was good, but when the team wasn't good, he was absolutely terrible, and that happens. But to win 2 Super Bowls, one of the most bizarre quarterbacks we've seen. Athletes. This 2-decade era we're talking about. But Ben Roethlisberger is up there because it was not only was he great at times, he absolutely has been great. That franchise is one of the best franchises in sports. And you have Mike Tomlin, you have Ben Roethlisberger, you have stability, influx of talent year in and year out. That's how you can have the longevity of playing at that level.
Yep, there's no doubt. I just Eli. I can't think of another athlete that's won at a championship level, multi-championships, and been the key of it. I'm not talking Robert Ory kind of stuff. I'm talking about been the key component of a championship in any sport. But has had so many bad seasons and has had a team that's had so many bad seasons. Yeah, if you're going to give me that era, right? It's Brady at the top, and then you're going to tell me. Start throwing Rodgers. All I see is a light, dude. All right, so you're telling me Favre. You putting Favre in there? So let's do this when we come back.
Career wins.
And he's 5th? Is that what you're showing me? You can talk to me, dude. You got the button. You can open the mic.
Yeah, Ben Roethlisberger's 5th in career wins.
All time?
Yes.
So what's the top 5?
You got Tom Brady, 226 career wins. Brett Favre, 186. Peyton Manning, 186. Drew Brees, 170. Ben Roethlisberger, 154. But Roethlisberger has a slightly better career win percentage than Brees and Favre.
All right. I mean, when you rank, look, Brady's 1. And if you want to start telling me Favre, Brees, Rodgers, Manning, Rivers, you could throw in that ilk of quarterback. I know most conversations lead to Ben Roethlisberger being below all of them, right? Favre won once, Brees won once, Rodgers won once, both Mannings won twice. Like, you could tell me Peyton had a better career, I'd listen to that. I would. Peyton was the best regular season quarterback I've ever seen. But, yeah, we can have that conversation. 246-0610, 888-922-0610. Welcome to the holiday season, gentlemen. I know you're thinking about everybody, but you. Take care of yourself this holiday season. Don't forget about you. You can't take care of everyone else unless you take care of yourself first. And if you're not feeling right, if you're dealing with fatigue, low T, erectile dysfunction, call NewMail and take care of it. This is a year where everything is seemingly out of your control. This is something you can absolutely control. NewMail's right here in Albuquerque. You can deal with ED, depression, even hair loss with NewMail. Just got to make the call. 505-652-1688. That's 505-652-1688. It's not taking care of itself. It's not something that you will just ignore and it'll go away. And the truth is, it's nothing to be ashamed of. Men hit a certain age, these things are normal. The beauty of NewMail is you can battle normal. You can feel better. NewMail's number is 505-652-1688. Enjoy the holiday season and give yourself the gift of feeling great. Make the call, guys. NewMail, 505-652-1688, or visit newmail.com and feel better.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Sports Network. Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Played over to Madrid, plays it across the box off the dasher. It's settled, shot on by Garcia, trickles in, goal.
Chavez blocked at the rim. And here's Dorian Lewis to Watson.
Shot on and just wide, big deflection, goal.
With his first field goal. Look at that. That's gorgeous.
Not a game you can go have 25 turnovers in and win.
Get that out of here, Watson says. Here comes Hodnett all the way. He's blocked.
The legend, the community legend, the Lobo legend, you certainly can. 505-246-0610. You want to get on this quarterback thing. I mean, we've never had this particular conversation. We talk about quarterbacks all the time. The guy who's going to play this afternoon has got to be in the conversation in the last 2 decades as the number 2. Brady's 1. I'm not telling you he is number 2, but I'm telling you that he's got to be in that conversation.
No doubt about it. And you look at the first Super Bowl he won, and even if you don't want to rank it as high on the list of what he did to win the Super Bowl, he didn't tank that team. You know, Mitch Trubisky, Nick Foles, with a great defense around the season, are not in that position. You know, how many quarterbacks do we see on good teams tank it because they're not that good? So that's why I'll give a young Ben Roethlisberger credit, even with Willie Parker and Jerome Bettis doing their thing, is he did not go out there and lose them football games, and then we just saw him continue to get better. I will, even taking out the Super Bowls, I will take Ben Roethlisberger over Philip Rivers. I just think there's just something that just feels more consistent, even with the numbers Philip Rivers has, but I still like Ben Roethlisberger at that point in time. And like, if we start talking about an Aaron Rodgers or Patrick Mahomes moving forward, they're like a different level of athlete, but he is right there just in terms of what you're asking a quarterback to do, and he has done all those things.
All right, Brian, good morning. You're on the Quan's Auto Care Hotline. Good morning, Brian.
Hey, good morning, Jeff. How are you, sir?
Good. How you doing, sir?
Hey, I'm great, man. Just, running some errands. Every time I run errands, I listen to you guys in the morning, so. Run more errands,
man. Run more errands.
always. But, hey, man, I think you guys are onto something about Roethlisberger. I wouldn't say he's better than Brady or Peyton Manning, but comparatively to his peers that were in his same draft class, if I'm not mistaken, I think Eli Manning,
Eli and Rivers,
and Ben Roethlisberger were in the same class, right?
Yep, that's correct. 1, 2, and 7, if I'm not mistaken.
I would take Ben Roethlisberger all day long, and I'll tell you why. The reason why is Ben Roethlisberger is not defensible just by having the normal standards of defense. You have to account for his escapability and his ability to extend plays. There has not been a quarterback for a long time except for now Mahomes, but before Roethlisberger, there weren't very many quarterbacks that had the escapability from the pocket and ability to find receivers downfield after escaping the pocket.
I think that's right. I think it's a great call, Brian. Go run more errands and appreciate your call. Call us anytime.
It's my pleasure.
He's right. Especially those two guys in his draft class, right? Now, Rodgers, I'll give you Rodgers can get out of the pocket.
Yeah, there's better athletes, but Ben was sneaky good at keeping plays alive, also just due to his sheer size. You couldn't get the man to the ground, and he was able to create a lot of plays just because defenders couldn't finish plays against him.
Yeah. All right. Ned, good morning. How you doing, Ned?
Hey, good morning. Good morning, guys. Thanks for having me on. Boy, I wish I could sneak into that quarterback conversation, but I just wanted to call in just to talk about my good friend Calvin Scarborough. I just had two quick stories, and just wanted to kind of, I guess, feel like everyone else is feeling today, just get my emotions out as far as, going to miss Calvin and all that he's done for Albuquerque and the community and what he meant to a lot of people in this community. But one of my favorite stories about Calvin was the one that Rudy talked about, the coast-to-coast dunk. And there's a story behind that because at the time, guys like JJ, us middle-aged guys, we didn't have ESPN. So CNN was the only national news, and at the end of CNN, you have to wait till 11:20, 11:25 before the sports.
I'm Van Earl Wright, CNN Headline Sports, right? With Van Earl Wright.
And the one thing I always remember, because it gave you street cred when you went back to L.A., Chicago, Detroit, New York, because the coast-to-coast dunk was on Headline Sports at the end of the sport, and when you went back to L.A., people said, hey, man, you went to Mexico. That's where that guy went coast to coast and dunked on that 6'10 guy, that little guard, and it was Calvin. And so I'd always bring it up to Calvin. And another thing with Calvin, nationally, when you coach all over the country, us middle-aged guys, played 100 years ago, Calvin was a guy, when you met D.C. guys, a particular time was when I was in Minnesota. I went up to Rochester. I was coaching Division II football. And Rocky was up at the University of Minnesota. You go to Rochester, which was halfway. And I met a group of people, and they were from Washington, D.C. And I said, well, hey, I was friends with, you mean Wino? You mean Scar? Everybody knew Scar, even
Wino.
Coaching. Everybody knew him, from his D.C. days. I mean, the guy was just a legend in high school basketball in the Washington, D.C., Maryland area. That's why he was able to get NBA guys to come to the New Mexico games, like Fred was saying. He was just larger, and I didn't realize how big he was nationally until, I was coaching, and I would mention his name to guys around our age, and they would say, yeah, he was just, and I had asked Scar, and I'll go into that some other time, about how he just, Scar, how did you get to New Mexico? I mean, us guys from L.A., we were, quick shot, and how did they get you? And he would tell me a different story every time on how they got him, how Coach and all those guys got him here. But I just wanted to kind of let the audience hear just some wonderful stories about the national figure. I think
that's great.
Calvin was, and a lot of respect. So thanks, guys. Thanks for having me on, and you guys are doing a great job. Great show.
No, it's great to hear you, Ned. And I want to get him on the quarterback conversation, by the way. Scar was, I'm just telling you, man, everyone he touched, Scar, and he brought you in, JJ, engaged, smiled, had time, and it didn't matter what walk of life now. And I think this is what made him so transcendent, right? There was there was none of that big league and stuff that people, and we all probably tended, whatever. This wasn't a guy who shook your hand and smiled and talked to you if you could do something for him. It was more, what could he do for you? And that's a special human being right there.
Oh, absolutely. I love hearing the stories. I'm sad I didn't get to be a part of any of those stories, but this is a special man that basketball brought him here, but he meant so much more than that.
All right, got time for more. 505-246-0610. 888-922-0610. Here's where we got. Where do you put Ben Roethlisberger in these last 2 decades of quarterbacks? Brady's one. I think we all agree with that. Is it Peyton, then Ben, then Favre, or is it Favre, or Rodgers, or Breeze? I'm going to tell you, man, this is your underrated piece that nobody talks about. He's playing today on Wednesday afternoon football. Hi, Ben, all right, CNN Headline Sports.
Oh, no.
Dickey, did he get it off? He did, and he hit it. They're really Oliveras. Wild three, and it hit.
Another steal nearly by Hiron. It is a steal. Avalos ahead to Hiron. The two-hand hammer by Hiron. I knew he was going to put that one down.
ProView Networks tonight.
District mashup there.
Davidson took it away in transition. Might be time for a jam. Yes.
Oh!
Big Barton, watch him, coach. Watch the inbounder.
Dumas Sanchez in the corner.
Back to Barton with 2.4 seconds left. Fires for the win.
And he got it!
It's good.
Oh my God!
On the last second shot.
He did.
Oh my
God!
Bakes it in from 25 feet and watch the celebration right in front of us. What a shot by Barton. He was double teamed and somehow found a way to get it in.
Ramos to Gaxiola, high window for the win. It's good. It counts. Gaxiola with the game winner for a Driscoll Heritage.
The New Mexico High School Coaches Association, established in 1941, is an organization of New Mexico's best and most professional interscholastic coaches. Coaches across work daily to help our student athletes excel in the classroom, on the field of play, and in our communities. Students that participate in interscholastic activities attain higher grades, higher graduation rates, and higher wages. Responsible for the North-South All-Star Games, statewide Coaches Award Program, and providing multiple professional development opportunities for New Mexico's coaches. Be a great coach by coaching beyond the game. Get into the game with Garden Swartz Team Sales. They have everything you need, from screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing services, high school letterman jackets, and all high school and club uniforms, and individual and team apparel with the most reliable brands like Speedline, Rollins, and Wilson. And don't forget to check out the latest F7 Shut helmet. It's all at Garden Swartz Team Sales. Give them a call, 505-884-1234. Garden Swartz Team Sales.
Creates space. He gives it off to Rivas for the three, and he buries it.
Could be coming in soon. Double pick set for Avalos. Goes to the right. Avalos puts it up high. Window. Scores it as foul.
Right here by Lewis all the way, coast to coast, and finish.
What a...
Around the screen against White. Step back. It's blocked. JB with the block.
In transition, ahead to Hiron. Hiron for the two-hand hammer.
Minutes to go. They've got a shot. They have a chance, and it's put up, and it's good. What a three that is by Jalen.
Hiron puts it up.
Rebound Cowboys. Right side, David Hall. Thank you very much. Here come the Cowboys. Domina Lovato lays it up. Missed it. Hey, how about it? Thank you, Lusses. Thank you very much, Raquan Mitchell. Clock at 6. They get it. Barnes Tompkins fires. Yes! Pass up court. This for the win. Blocked by DJ Bustos. Cowboys win. Cowboys win.
Second field goal, he's got 4 points. Watson, though, goes all the way.
Animal ProView Network's Christmas record. Boy, you don't want any of that. All right, 2460610 888-9220-610. Come on in. We got a little bit of time for you to remember Calvin Scarborough. Okay, let me read what I got here, JJ. We'll get through as many as I can. James said on Danny Gonzalez, he's got to get a quarterback out of the transfer portal in the offseason, right? He can't go into 2021 saying, well, Tavaka Tuioti is our starter, only to see him knocked out for the season in the second game. What year is Tavaka, JJ? I know this is an easy question. I know I should know this.
Is a senior. He
is, right?
Yes.
Somebody told me he's a sophomore earlier, and I didn't think that was right. Okay. Yeah, that's what I had. Lobo Hobo says, you know what, Jeffy? Was it that game? He's a junior. All right, so somewhere in the middle. So he's got another year back. Jeff, was it the game in Laramie and Davies' first season when you were just hoping B.R. Holbrook could make it through the entire game because the quarterback was flashy? Is global football in that situation again on Saturday? Yeah. Yeah, they are. Right? I mean, I don't know how you look at it and say, yeah, I want to see what, unless you're from Rio Rancho and you're part of the family. You want to see what Isaiah looks like? A quarterback against Wyoming?
Well, this is why the Lobos are in year one of a new coaching staff, because of the instability, the quarterback position. It's a program as a whole. And if we're sitting here constantly talking about teams struggling to find an NFL quarterback, a college program that hasn't won a lot's going to be in an even tougher position. Because you look around, Colorado State's played 2 quarterbacks. Utah State's on their second quarterback this season. And it's a challenge, man. It's a position that find a good one, you're going to set yourself apart. And, yeah, that is probably 1A on the list for Danny and Derek Wareheim moving forward is, all right, can we get a guy in here that could be someone that gives us stability at the position?
Reply to JJ, says Jeremy. Here's the problem, Jeffy. Rocky dug himself a hole so deep in his first season. He was never accepted by some Lobo fans because he was never able to push his record above 500. If Danny starts 0-7 or 0-8, it's going to take a lot of 6 and 5 years to get up to 500, and those seasons are rare around here, and even rarer is the patience of Lobo fans to get there. I don't know if it's all about your career record as it is about where you are. And I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Did you tell me Dan is on the phone? Danny? Who did you tell me? Danny, good morning. You're on the Quan's Auto Care Hotline. Hello, Danny.
Yeah, good morning, guys. I just wanted to share one of my stories of Scarborough.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, so it was really cool for me because I think it was around 15 or around there anyways. Gary Colson was the coach, and I remember, because we were getting out of the Lobo gate and all that, so it was exciting little by little for them to improve. And I was one of those that bought the program, so I knew all the stats and all that, so I was getting really excited. So Anyways, my highlight was when Gary Colson had put all 5 of the freshmen on the court at one time, and it was Hunter Green, Kevin Scarborough, I think Rob Robbins and all that. But I was anticipating, because I knew there was rumors that he was going to put all those 5 freshmen on the court. And to me, it was just really neat to see, seeing Kevin Scarborough coming from Washington, D.C. on the court, for, coming to the Lobos and all that. So that was one of my highlights. And yeah, of course, he's going to be missed. I'm so glad that he did so much for the community. But I just wanted to show that.
No, that's good. Thank you. Appreciate it, Danny. There's people, I just run into so many people who just have memories of Kelvin. All right, JJ, good stuff today. You get football this afternoon. You get football, I think at 1 o'clock here on the Sports Animal, right? Is that confirmed? 1:15, our coverage will start. 1:15, Ravens and Steelers, and then after that, I'm going to assume you'll get some sort of an abbreviated sports bar. Jim Rome show is next, and Patrick show's after that for 15 minutes. Then you get NFL football, Steelers and Ravens. Then you get Sports Bar, I think. And then we're back tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. with more award-winning radio. Michael, good job. Jay Pohl, Alden, I believe Josh was there. Great work on the video side.
Jay Pohl walks in 10 minutes. What's up, guys? You doing a show today?
Starts flashing deuces. Gets all the credit. I get how it is. I get it. JJ, enjoy the NFL today and the hoops tonight.
I will. It might go sledding. We'll see.
Sledding if you get enough snow. Be good to each other, please. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We'll smell you tomorrow.
It's his second field goal. He's got 4 points. Watson, though, goes all the way.
Cordova tried to throw it off Romero. A 3 for
set out to Jutapia. Nice move behind his back. It's a good. Here's Ramos. Step back. High arcing. 20.
Well, he needed to get his legs back under him.
Ooh, little kick.
They leave it one more time. Two-hand hammer.
Look at this. They're not going to score again. Look at this.
Up top. Yes, and the finish for Akbayosi. Saved into the hands of Riak. Ahead of the pack to Davina Lovato. Up high, down hard for Akbayosi. Out of the corner, Casals. The 3-0. Katenge! Let me clean up the mess. He dropped out of the rafters for that one, Steve.
Dorian over. Did he get in?
Yeah, they got in. He got
Touchdown, Dorian Lewis.
Seconds to play. Benavides looking, still looking up the middle. It's intercepted. It's picked off by Freddie Anaya, and Roswell's season will end perfect.
Second quarter, 2nd and 4 for Socorro at the whole 44-yard line. McDaniel trying, good block by Hicks. First down and more, 30, 25, 20. McDaniel might be gone. Touchdown.
Wow.
Touchdown for Michael McDaniel.
It's 40 seconds this year. It's not like 25 like it used to be.
He laterals it back. What a play by Hightower. Pitch.
Looked like somebody moved a little bit early. Hicks, the play fake double move. He's got his receiver wide open. Caught. One man to beat. Touchdown. Touchdown to number 17, Nathaniel.
Third and 6. Big defensive play coming up here. Little trickery to Reese. See you later. Touchdown. They went for the deep ball to Reese.
To the right, single receiver split to the left. Play fake, head up the middle, got some room. 50, 45, 40, has one man to beat. 30, 25, 10, 5, touchdown. Touchdown, Hope.
Wow.
On a